Hello everybody, this is the YouTube live stream. We're going to be doing some game development bullcrap, and I am in ghost mode right now because I'm trying to show off the UI, and you can kind of see the UI through me a little bit. Hold on, we might need to ghost it up just a little bit extra. Here we go, ready? Yo, what up? Fanny Slam, Gimme Head, how y'all doing?
Are in chat.
Yeah. The best new names from last stream. Look, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit transparent like this. Yeah, so the UI, it's a shader called like Glass UI shader. I can share it if you guys want. It's I don't think it was on Godot shaders. It was actually on somebody's, what do you call it? itch.io. It was on somebody's itch.io, but it was free. CC0 or something, I think. Yeah, it's free to go. I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet. It looks pretty, right? Oh, also, I've got an unarm button. Wait, does that work? Wait. Ah, maybe the unarm button doesn't work.
Fanny Slam M through Tiger Arrow.
Interesting. It's supposed to just like put me on slot 0. Yeah, look. Okay, I gotta look at that then. Yeah, I like it. It's a little bit weird. I don't know about the performance impact. That's gonna be the one big thing that makes me not consider using it.
Fanny
like
Slam,
if the
reflections look so good.
Oh yeah, look. So we actually need to do a little bit of work to the water as well. This was a shader that I found on Godot shaders as well. The reason I like this one is because it has caustics, which is going to be like not a big part of the game, but like a big part of like the aesthetic in the shallows, which there is a lot of, because you need to be able to see in to your crab traps, right? The shit that we worked on last stream. I want you to be able to look at your crab traps and be able to see the crabs. You know?
Fanny Slam crab.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to have a look at my code for the unarmed, because like sometimes I just don't want to have anything in my hands. But it looks like when I put it on index 0, because index 1 is actually the first slot. I didn't want to mix up index and slot number. If I switch the current selected slot to 0, it looks like it's wrapping around to the end somewhere in my code, so I got to work that out. So we've added a drop button, not for the crab, but we've added a drop button. Look, I can hit G, just plop shit down. I can also throw it. Woo! So we can make big piles of trash if we want. Pretty sick. The water reflections, yeah, I'm a big fan of as well. There's quite a lot of stuff I've done here. Let me just restart this up. Quite a lot of stuff I've done since... Oh shit, that thing just fell through the ground. That's fine, we've actually got to check for that. Let's see if it actually fires off though. It's supposed to delete it when it goes through the ground. What is it? Rigid bodies deleted. How long do we have to wait actually? It's 30 seconds. Yeah, okay. Wait, deleted rigid bodies. I think I might have messed up. Wait. Oh no, okay, so it deleted 3 rigid bodies. I got the code wrong here, look. So this is my code for checking for falling bodies, right? So when I add a rigid body, I don't just add it to the scene. I actually add it into this node right here called rigid bodies. So on that node, I actually have a bit of code, and that's this, where every 30 seconds we check to see if there's like falling rigid bodies through the ground. So if anything ever bugs out and goes into the ground and then just starts falling to infinity, into the void, every 30 seconds we check to make sure that that's not happening, because obviously if objects get down to like, what is it, like negative 32,000 units or whatever it is, it can start like really messing with the game. And I haven't checked that, but I saw somebody else on Twitter complaining about how like he didn't understand why his game was fucked, and it was because like he just had like random rigid bodies falling through the ground, and he had like hundreds of them, and like it was messing with everything though. It wasn't just messing with like the precision or whatever of the rigid body, it was messing with everything. So yeah, the way that we check is I just check to see if the global position is less than 10. This here I had wrong. See, I was freaking out for a second there. So there's a couple things we've got to do today. Look, it just happened again. Fucking hell. What was it actually? Could someone clip that? What object was that? Because I've been messing around with the collision shapes for some of these rigids. So I've got a feeling that it's probably a fish, because now the fish are like the smallest thing. Look at that. We've also got to add buoyancy for the objects, but I'm not sure about the most like CPU efficient way to do that. Does that make sense? Like, I want these water bottles to be able to like bob in the water, but I don't want it to really, I don't want it to like slow down the game, you know? So I don't know, I've got to go do some tests. They said like for me, having locked 144 FPS is the most important thing. If I ever introduce a system that compromises that, like I can't keep it. All right, gamer. Nah, you're right, man. My dog, my G. I'm just going to be on for, I'm not sure how long I want to be on. I still want to make a tutorial like after my stream, but I've got to think of something interesting to make. Yeah. So while you're lurking, if you have any ideas, throw them at me. Guitar Hero 3, anyone? Okay, so these bags of trash don't stack. I think that that's good. I think what I'll do is I'll make it so like X amount of like plastic can be turned into a bag of plastic. So when you find these bags, actually, I don't know. Yeah. Trash the fountain. It's gonna be one of the missions in the game. Trash that fountain. Alright, so we've got a new area over here as well, fellas, by the way. So we've got the sandy beach. We've got like gravel beach, which is like, you know, all of the dog crap. And then we've got sandy beach. And this is going to be like, you know, this is like a little sandbar at the moment. I don't know if I'll keep it, but it's kind of just to get like these nice shots, you know, without having to swim out. Reflections look nice. We've kind of got to add some like texture to the surface of the water, because when you're floating around like this, it's really hard to tell where the actual surface of the water is. Actually quite close to the middle of the screen, but it doesn't feel like it, you know? If I'm like out here, it kind of feels like I'm standing, like I'm walking on the water, and that's just because we don't have like a reference point. It looks nice though, you know? I'm not going to say it doesn't look nice. It's just like a little bit too slick, you know? Because like we have waves. But yeah. So a little bit of work we've got to do, you know, of focusing in. You know, a lot of what I'm doing now as well is storytelling through the actual level design itself. So obviously we've got our rich houses over here, and they're right next to the best beach in the game, right? Where it's actual nice sand. And then I think over here, I kind of want to have like a private beach, you know? So a beach that you're not allowed over to. And that's going to be for these houses. And And I'm not sure how I'm going to block this area off because, like, really, you can just go out, like, swimming. Like, if I put a big fence up, for instance, you could just swim out around the fence. And I'm not sure if I want to keep that or not. Like, I think during one of my streams, I said it would be cool having, like, security guards. So if you ever end up in an area that you're not supposed to, it's fine as long as you don't get caught. You know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of things I got to think through. But, for now, it doesn't matter too much.
Rolyetka, he has a ghost.
He's a ghost! Ooh! Yeah, so I'm trying to show off the UI. You can't really see it that well, but I think it does a good job of, like, showing that there's something going on behind me. I'm actually a really big fan of this UI. But I don't know, like, I've got to extend it, you know? Like, if I use this glass UI, like glass panel shader UI, I need to make sure that it's going to be performant, you know? Like, if I add 100 of these into the scene, I don't know if that's going to make the game slow down, you know what I mean? So it's something to consider. And then also, like, we've got to add, like, you know, that glass effect around the mini map and other little things like that, just to make sure that the effect is, like, consistent across the board. And then okay, I don't have it yet, but I have, like, this, like, quest overlay, or this quest UI that I would also need to kind of match that style. So, you know, it's not permanent. It's just kind of like, I'm still feeling it out at the moment. So what I do have to do is I've got to make these crab pots. I've got to make a rigid body for this crab pot. So there are quite a few rigid bodies I've got to get. I've created another global script called the item manager. What the item manager does is it's like a map. It's mainly this here. It's a map between the item data and the rigid body that is related to it. You know what I mean? So, like, if I have, like, item trash bag and then I drop it on the ground, then it spawns the trash bag rigid. That's kind of the point of this whole thing here. But I found myself, like, writing a little bit of this code, like, I think it was the game manager, and I was like, that doesn't really make sense because it's not about the game itself. So I've created this item manager, and I don't really need that anymore. That was kind of for debugging. That's this whole thing here, where, like, I can see the map, because I was having a big ass issue with it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I need to do two. So crab item and the crab pot item I've got to make. And then I've got to fill these nulls out, essentially. So I'm going to go bird rigid. Yeah, and we'll just duplicate the bird rigid. Yeah, screw it. Where is it? Bird rigid here. So we've got to go duplicate, and then we'll call this one crab rigid. And then I need to make crab pot rigid as well, I think. So just get this one done first. Bird rigid. Crab rigid. Crab.glb. Thanks again, Forlorn. Forlorn creature for this sick ass crab model. I'm not using many other people's models for this project, but, like, man, it's so sick. It's just so sick. I'm trying not to use other people's models anyway. I think like that, get rid of the dead bird, and then I think we can just increase the collision shape a bit. This one's going to be hard because I don't really want to make it too complex of a shape. But the way that I essentially am getting my convex hulls is I editable children, and then I go to the mesh itself. Yeah. We can keep that one because it's an area. But I go to the mesh itself, and then I can go create collision shape. And then here where it says sibling trimesh, you don't want trimesh because then it's like a copy of the mesh essentially. I want simplified convex, and then that gives me a simplified convex hull of the crab. So the main reason I'm doing this is because if I have it as a box, then like the crab's going to sit on its side sometimes, and I don't want that. I want it to be like, you know. So then I can uneditable children that. And then I can delete this square shape there. And then we have somewhat of a decent, what do you call it? Collision shape. So crab rigid, we're going to replace this bird here with a crab item. Quantity, yep, 1. This drop, don't worry about that. Now that's done. We can add that to the script here. Item manager. Ooh, what you say? Ooh. Yeah, what you say? Plastic bottle, milk carton, trash bag. So crab item. And then we can go var crab rigid. So, well, we had an issue when we were preloading these because there was like some sort of like circular referential treat. What do you call it? Some sort of cyclical reference happening. So I had to like, I'll show you what I mean. So crab rigid here, if I just go in and you'll notice like it's not a variable, it's a constant, and it's also being preloaded. So if I switch this to load, it's going to bitch because you can't have a load constant. It needs to be a preload, obviously. So if I take this crab rigid, it's not trash. We just need to add it to the map. Crab item. I'm going to chuck this trash underneath the map, actually, for cleanliness. There we go, because we care about the map more than we do about the trash. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, all of this stuff gets loaded in, and then the trash spawner refers to the item manager to figure out what items are trash, so what it can spawn at the start of each day onto the ground. So if I add the crab into here, it's going to spawn the crab like it's trash. So crab item is crab rigid. Now, if we run this, right, it's going to give us an error. Okay, it doesn't give us an error. Okay, weird. Maybe because it's not trash. Yeah, if I go like this, crab rigid. Oh, weird. Riddle me that. Fuck knows, dude. Maybe it's... No, it was like a lot of them. It was all of the trash. Either way, we should be able to find crabs on the ground. Yeah, like it's trash. And we should also be able to throw them on the ground now. Wicked. So that's the way that the item system works. There's a map between the item data and the actual rigids that I can spawn in. I need to make that trash bag less heavy, actually. Trash bag rigid is 5 kilos at the moment, I think. Yeah, 5 kilo. We'll just make it 2. And then we can make the other stuff under 1 kilo. And then we can reduce the throw amount or something like that, because it's going to throw these things really far if they don't weigh anything. Next thing we need to do. Okay, so the reason it gets a little bit complicated when it comes to the crab pot is because the crab pot actually has a little bit of code on it. So let's have a look. Crab pot. Crab pot is actually a scene. It's not like a rigid body. So I'm going to need to think about this. I might have to actually switch it to a rigid body and then have it act like a rigid body. But the code can all be the same. Basically what happens is... See, like that, we've got to fix the bloody bird going through the ground. See this crab pot over here, because it's in the water, or because its position is less than 0, on the y-axis, it starts to collect crabs. So we can grab the crabs out of that crab pot. But then with our crab pot, we can't actually lay it down. So I'm thinking it'll either be a system where like you place it on the ground, or I just treat it like a rigid body and we can just throw it on the ground. And then, you know, the code will still run. We're going to try that, okay? I'm just going to try switching it over to a rigid body. Oh shit. Rigid body 3D. So it's going to need a shape. That's fine. We don't really want it to be a... We'll make another convex hull, that's alright. So the crab, the wood here. Just collision shape, simplified convex. Yeah, there we go. We can uneditable children that again. We also need to get the boot to work. There's a boot in there. And I just want that to randomly like spawn in instead of a crab. Or actually, I think maybe, I don't know. You guys can help me decide. So it's a rigid body now. What happens if we run that? We don't want it to be on collision layer 1. We want it to be a rigid. Do we want it to interact with the player? Kind of. It might mean that we can jump on top of them and glitch them through the ground though. That's the only problem, like that. So we turn the player off. It's a bit too volatile. With trash, I don't give a shit, really. But with something usable like this, it's probably going to be best to not. Okay, and then we just go to the item manager. We add crab pot scene, which is our rigid, really. Shit, does that make sense? Crab pot item. Crab pot scene. This is quite a big change we're making, because like in my mind I kind of wanted to make it so you have to place them on the ground, not just like drop them like any other item. Crab pot item. Nah, here we go. So rigid equals item rigid. Oh shit. So we can extend item rigid instead of rigid body 3D.
B4NTO, what do you do in this island game?
We don't do too much yet. Item data, crab pot item, so it still is. So the idea with this game is like you scavenge stuff on the island. And then, why is that not working? So basically the way it works, I'll show you. So the way it's going to work is you run around the island, you pick stuff up, you're going to be able to like scavenge things on the island. You know, not just trash, but you'll be able to like turn plastic into oil. You'll be able to sell it to like merchants. You'll be able to like upgrade your stuff. I need to work out how to get, what do you call it? Fishing rods and like usable equipment and stuff like that in here as well. But yeah, it's kind of just like, Slum Schedule 1 is the way that I've been trying to explain it to people. It's going to have that, like, that vibe, a Schedule 1 vibe, where all of the, like, what do you call it? All of the NPCs you'll be able to, like, interact with and, like, share with and stuff like that. Share stuff, trade with, sorry. What the hell? Interact area.
B4NTO dig some post-apocalyptic setting, not sure if this is that, but like raft or flotsam.
I think, like, I want to have, like, some sort of ecological disaster, like, on the island, you know what I mean? Because, like, as you're walking around, like, well, the birds shouldn't look like that, but there's, like, dead birds everywhere. You know, there's, like, oh, that's another bird. There's, like, rats. Look at this rat, dude. That's so annoying. There's, like, dead rats. There's, like, dead fish and stuff all over the place. There's trash. All kinds of stuff like that. And the idea is that, like, you'll be, like, breaking these down, and then there'll be some kind of, like, alchemy system where, like, we can create bait, and then we're going to be able to sell the bait to fishermen. So it's the game, like, the working name for the game is beta. Beta. Because, you know, or like bait maker. Because you'll be making bait and, like, selling bait. And, like, that bait will get you, like, wicked fish. But the idea is kind of to, like, rags to riches, you know? So you go from, like, living in the slum over here to, like, full-on living in, like, one of these cool-ass houses or something like that. So I'm not super sure yet, but I've kind of got, like, these concepts. Like, I've got concepts, you know? Ideas of concepts. That I want to do. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of work I've got to do. Like this, the buoyancy. How am I going to do the buoyancy per item?
An early start sounds like some fun ideas to test out.
Yeah, that's it. It's really cool. So, like, even just getting, like, the level and stuff like that worked out is, like, it's I'm doing it in, like, a different way than I've ever done before. So, you know, usually I would, like, use Godot to just, like, import, like, assets, you know, like church asset, lighthouse asset, jetty asset, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I gotta show off this. This is the beach club. Look, we got beach club. Hell yeah, the beach club. The way that it's going to work, the way that I've been doing it is just entirely in Blender. So I've created this entire level in Blender, and I'm learning a lot about, like, the Blender to Godot kind of workflow. There's a lot I can share about it, honestly. But at the moment, you know, just yeah, getting concepts together is the main thing, right? Wait, did that actually... Yeah, it did. You guys can't see that. Look, here's the actual level. So we've kind of got, like, an industrial area down here where I think I'm going to have, like, a lot of the machinery that you can use. And it's either going to be, like, you have to repair the machinery to use it, or you can rent it, you know? Like, so you'll be able to rent a machine that turns, like, plastic and oil, or you'll be able to rent a machine that, like, shreds up like bottles and milk bottles and stuff like that into plastic parts that you can then put in the oil machine. Not too sure. Yeah, quite a lot that we can do with it, to be completely honest. Like, there's not a lot that we can't do with this game at the moment. So I think I want to expand out this area as well up the top. Give me, like, a little bit more room to, like, play with. But it means that I'm going to have to move, like, this whole jetty and stuff like that up, which is fine. It's just, like, there's a lot of work involved in that, basically. But also, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, so I've been doing it little bit by bit, you know.
Diving for goods.
Diving for goods. That's something I haven't even thought of. I mean, the problem with diving is, like, I've got to create, like, an underwater ecosystem as well, which might be a little bit hard. I might like spawn stuff on the shore, like around the shore.
Looking cool.
That would be kind of cool. Thanks, man. Captain Crud. Appreciate you, dude. Like really, I don't want fish to spawn in the middle. I want fish to spawn around the outside, you know, and stuff like that. Underwater caves. That could be cool. I know I definitely want to have like another island. Maybe I'll have like a reef or something like that. Buy some metal detectors. Yeah, actually, that's a really good idea. Like a metal detector for the beach. You can find like jewels. Bro, that one's going in the ideas book. Oh, that one's going in the ideas book, dude. Oh, that's a good idea. Wait, are you watching on... You're watching on Twitch, right? Yeah. That's why it says, give me your ideas in the stream title. Because I need them shits. Give me them ideas, baby.
Crud, are you adding sharks?
Oh, I should. Dude, actually, that's what I should do. Okay. So, like I was saying before, I don't know if you, like, how long you guys have been watching for. But I need a way to stop you from just exploiting the game by, like, you know, like, just swimming, you know? Like, we'll get there. Hold on. We'll run over there. I'll show you what I mean. Like I said, I want there to be a private beach for these, like, snooty houses over here. Oh, bro, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Don't anybody... Actually, somebody click on that link and give me some viewers, alright? If y'all guys are paying, I'll... Oh no, Rembot Games is botting. So like right here.
Just follow the people after they buy a soda can so that you can loot it the moment they toss it XD.
That's a good one too. Like metal is something that I have to add to the game. Like metal scraps. And so you'll be able to like melt down aluminium. So I want to put a big fence right here that goes out into the water. Right, because I want this to be a private beach over here for these like rich houses. And I've been thinking about like, well, how can I stop the player from just like getting in the water and just swimming all the way out here and then going like around the fence? Sharks. Sharks, dude. Fantastic idea. All right, so I need to write that down. What was that first idea? Metal detectors, yeah? Metal detectors and sharks. Metal detectors. Sharks. Yes. Look, we've actually got quite a few ideas.
Rideable dolphins.
Rideable dolphins. Calm down, dude. You don't even have boats in the game yet. Well, we got one boat, but you can't really ride it. It's more of like a set piece for now. When you see the boat, it means that the market, like, so this little area right here is going to be like some sort of market where you can buy and sell goods from the guy that rocks up on the boat. I think. If you guys have played Unaccessible, this is the boat from Unaccessible, actually. It's right at the start of the game. It's the boat that takes you onto and off the island. Unaccessible being the other game that, well, one of the three games I have up on Steam already. So I think this is kind of funny. It's like a little nod to it's a little nod to Unaccessible. And yes, it is the wrong way around. The starboard is port side.
Crypto Moriarty 01 needs a Rex Hunt reference. Rex Hunt.
Fuck, that's somebody I haven't thought of in a while. Rex Hunt or like, what's his name? Russell Coit? Remember Russell Coit?
What's your current games on Steam?
I've got DJ Simulator. There's a horror game called, what's it called? Let Me Book. And then another one called Unaccessible. I don't think any of them are on special right now. I try to put them on special as often as I can. Unaccessible is going to be part of a Steam event on Friday, going through to next week sometime. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on special for that event because like I just put it on special as often as I can, all of my games. and I kind of fucked up the timing window because I only got the email like a few days ago saying I was in the event, and I was like, well, thanks. You really got to let me know like a month beforehand so I can get the discounts like on the right like week. You know what I mean? So what else do we have to do?
Trash wash up on shore rarely.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking about, like the metal and stuff like that, right? Like, what could we make? So, metal detector. What could we find in the ground? Like rings.
01, those handshakes from WrestleCoin were hilarious.
Yeah, he goes and like shakes the black fella's hand, and it switches to like him like shaking a white guy's hand. Oh, it's so fucking funny. Or like even the other way around, he'll like shake like 3 or 4 people and it's just the exact same handshake, like what do you call it, video every single time. My dad absolutely loved Russell Coight, so me growing up was like, I watched a lot of that stuff. We had all the DVDs. Fuck, so in fact, you know what? I've still got Russell Coight on my computer. What's it called? All Aussie Adventures. All Aussie Adventures, dude. I literally have all of it on my computer.
NTO, maybe you find a random car under the sand and you disassemble it. Ha, goofy idea.
I can't show too much of this, otherwise I'll get demonetized, but I'm trying to find like a handshake. Like this. The exact same handshake for every single person. That shit never gets old, dude. It's so funny. And it's in like every single episode. I just love, that's the funny thing about that show, is it's like it was just so predictable, you know? It'd be like, these damn city slickers, they got no idea what's going on. I'm going to help them with their car. And it's like every single time you're like, we'll pull the bumper off, or like he'll forget to put the handbrake on, you know, and the car will just crash. There was that one episode where he hooks the tow line up to the front of the car and he drives off and he like pulls their front bumper off, and then like he stops the car for a sec and then he just keeps going. Just drives off. So fucking funny. A random car under the sand and you disassemble it. Okay, so I've got this actually, and I've got to figure out a way to introduce this into the storyline. So it's not a car per se, it is a golf cart. We do have a really loud horn on it, but it's a golf cart. So I've got to figure out a way, like I said, to introduce this into the story. And also, because it's an electric car. Oh, dude, how do I get out? How do I exit the car?
Maybe you can find a Rolex on the rich houses beach.
Wait, what? How do I get out of the car? That's so strange. I think I might have messed with my my code here a little bit. Here we go. Exit car mode. Okay, if not is driving. Wait. So am I driving or not? Whatever, I'll figure it out later. A Rolex, that's a good one actually, like watches, because that's what I'm thinking, like rings, necklaces, although necklaces is kind of a hard one to like, to like, not model, but like, I don't want the objects to be too small, otherwise they just fall through the ground. So like a little jewelry box would be good, because it's actually got a little bit of like heft to it. A Rolex is good, because I can make it kind of like big. You know, like video game scaling, where it doesn't need to be like 1-to-1.
Like a gold skull. Are there pirates in this world?
Yeah, gold skull. I mean, I haven't thought that far ahead. I don't see why not. You know, it's an island game. We could have, yeah, we could have pirates in the game. Frick it. We got a beach whale. So you'll have to like learn how to craft dynamite.
Could part at the island. You can try to rob them.
Maybe like maybe the pirates you can sell to the pirates, because like, oh, that's such a sick idea actually. So you've got your legitimate market, man. So like, because you're on an island, you think about it, how does the island's economy work? It's either like, you know, you've got imports and exports. Anything that you can create in the island and export off to the mainland is good, right? So if you can create oil or petrol or whatever and then sell it to the people on the island versus just selling it in bulk over to the mainland, that's one way to make money. But we've also got, we need an illegal person to sell to. You know what I mean? So like, let's say you find a Rolex on the beach. Who are you going to sell it to? Like if you try to sell it to someone in town, they're going to be like, oh, that's, you know, Jim's, you know, Rolex. I know that anywhere. But if you, what do they call it? A fence? Is that the word? A fence? What is a fence trader? Yeah, a fence is a criminal.
Yeah, offense for selling stolen goods.
A fence trader. An individual knowingly buys stolen goods to resell them for profit. So you sell the sneaky items to the pirates. That's a really good idea, dude. So on specific days, it'll either be the legitimate, you know, like maybe it can go back and forward. So one day it's the legitimate trader, the next day it's the pirate trader, and like they'll just have a different ship. And he'll look different, but you find him at the same spot.
Maybe the shady guy,
you know?
Behind the creepy door could be a fence.
The creepy door. Which creepy door? Which creepy door could you be talking about? This guy? So this guy as well is the general store. So I think you'll be able to buy like tools and equipment from this guy. You know what I mean? Like your fishing rod, things like that. But it'll be really expensive. Like this guy is where you go to get your upgrades or like your game specific things, you know what I mean? He'll also be somebody you can get missions from and shit like that too. I think I want to have like a fish market here.
Crud, I don't know. I remember you saying one of the doors should have a slit with guy you talked to through it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. This one over here. This one specifically. I feel like this one's the dodgy door. And I think that's just because there's no windows on this building. Actually, I've only just realized that. There's something shifty about this door. And it's also on an angle. So I could put a slit there and then have like the guy behind that door. Let's see what that looks like actually. Oh, we're going to have to model the interior to a degree if I do that. So I need to look something like this. You know what I mean? Like something that we can actually look at. On the inside, I won't do it now. Just getting ideas. And then here we could have, yeah, some sort of little slit in the door. In one of the doors. Like that, you know, that you can speak through. You can just talk directly to the guy and he'll have like a little moving thing. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Wow. I gotta BRB a minute, boys. What can I do for you while I BRB? I'm just gonna run the monkey,
Breathe into
okay?
more times. Breathe out.
You guys
and back
just
and
relax
again.
with the
Stop
monkey.
breathing and
I'll be
breathe
like
out.
2 minutes, okay?
Then and again. Then back. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Now continue breathing in. Breathe out. Now breathe. Don't stop breathing and closing your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Keep on. Don't open your eyes. Stop breathing. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep on breathing. Keep breathing. Keep on breathing. Keep breathing. Close your eyes again. Keep breathing 2 more times. Breathe out and back in again. Stop breathing and breathe out. Then and again. Then back. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Now continue breathing in. Breathe out. Now breathe. Don't stop breathing and closing your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Keep on. Don't open your eyes. Stop breathing. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep on breathing. Keep breathing. Keep on breathing. Keep breathing. Close your eyes again. Keep breathing 2 more times. Breathe out and back in again. Stop breathing and breathe out. Then and again. then back, close your eyes. Breathe in, now continue breathing in, breathe out. Now breathe, done, stop breathing and closing your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Keep on, don't open your eyes. Stop breathing, open your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep on breathing, keep breathing, keep on breathing, keep breathing. Close your eyes again, keep breathing 2 more times. Breathe out and back in again, stop breathing and breathe out, then in again, then back, close your eyes. Breathe in, now continue breathing in, breathe out. Now breathe, done, stop breathing and closing your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Keep on, don't open your eyes, stop breathing, open your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep on breathing, keep breathing, keep on breathing, keep breathing. Close your eyes again, keep breathing 2 more times. Breathe out and back in again, stop breathing and breathe out, then in again, then back, close your eyes. Breathe in, now continue breathing in, breathe out. Now breathe, done, stop breathing and closing your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Keep on, don't open your eyes, stop breathing, open your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep on breathing, keep breathing, keep on breathing, keep breathing. Close your eyes again, keep breathing 2 more times. Breathe out and back in again, stop breathing and breathe out, then in again, then back, close your eyes. Breathe in, now continue breathing in, breathe out. Now breathe, done, stop breathing and closing your eyes. Don't open your eyes. Keep on, don't open your eyes, stop breathing, open your eyes. Close your eyes. Keep on breathing, keep breathing,
Oh,
keep
yeah,
on
so
breathing.
relaxing, dude. Oh. So damn relaxing. Okay, so what were we doing when I started the stream? I think I was working on that crab pot, wasn't I? Okay. So
Shinkrad, you could add an island monkey that steals your head or something and you gotta catch him to get it back.
interact area. Ah, crap. Yeah, a monkey. Monkey. Oh, jeez, what's happening here? So the issue with this is I can't really do this. The crab pot thing. I'm gonna have to reset it back to the way that it was. And I've got to devise, like, essentially it's a system for interacting with held objects. So let's say I had a fishing rod in my hand right now. You know what I mean? Like, I need to figure out a way to actually use that fishing rod. So these items here, like, you know, you can't use a rat. You can't use a dead bird, but you can use a crab pot. You know what I mean? So the reason that the crab pot is so complicated, code-wise, dude, that looks so funny. The reason that the crab pot is so hectically different is because when I walk up to it and grab it, I actually have a whole bunch of code on there that checks to see if I should be grabbing the crab pot or grabbing the crabs out of the crab pot. So, oh yeah, look at this. So, spawn the rigid crab pot scene. No, I don't want to fuck around with that shit. Throw it. See, if I hit G, same thing happens. So rigid, if not rigid. Item data. Look, we're having an issue here. So it's drop current item. That's the thing. See, crab pot scene here. We don't need that collision shape either. This crab pot scene here. Can use is true, so crab pot item, crab pot scene. This is kind of going to be a bit of a hard one. I don't really think I can do it under pressure of being on stream, you know what I mean? It's not really fun, me sitting here and just like trying to work code out. I don't think so anyway. You guys can let me know. I feel like I have to be entertaining when I have the stream up. But it's a little bit complicated. So crab pot scene is this. Crab pot item T-res. And then okay, so I need to go back over to my script. What is it, the item manager, and then I've got to actually fuck this crab pot item out. Oh wait, what? Crab pot item, crab pot scene. Wait. Did you see that? Crab pot scene, variable type, item rigids. That's so strange. It actually will drop it. Wait. Look. No, it won't. Okay. If rigid, this is going to be hard. If rigid dot has method, no, has property. What? Why isn't this working? Okay, so rigid can be a node 3D for now. Has method, has meta, has node, no. We need to check to see if it has the property is dropped. Is dropped equals true. That doesn't really matter. Fuck it, we're gonna try it, okay? We're gonna try and set that crab pot back to an item rigid. Because I messed up the code before. Like that. Rigid body 3D can't be assigned to, yeah, here we go. Well, it's going to fall through the ground because it doesn't have a shape. So we're just going to copy that. Pick up, drop. Oh my god. Did you see that? It actually did work. I could drop that. That's crazy. I'll try that again. So pick this bitch up. Dude, it worked the first time. Oh. I don't know what that is. It's like struggling to look at it for some reason. Strange. And then if we throw it, it actually throws. So if I take it out to the water, I throw it in the water, it should start collecting crabs. It does, oh my god. So it kind of does work.
Nice at walkers.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it though. More of just a test to see if, like... Dude. Okay. It's a little bit janky, but it is a method. You saw that though, right? It did work. You saw that. So why is it bugging out?
Grud, should it be rigid or more like predetermined crab pot nodes you can place them at?
Wait, I've also got to change the collision shape over to rigids. That's probably part of it. And then this interact area. Yeah, okay. See, it's bugging out because of that. Dupe bug? Should it be rigid, more like a predetermined crab pot nodes you can place them at? I mean, I don't know.
Now.
I kind of want it to be like fun. So like being able to throw it on the ground is like, it's kind of cool, you know? This one's not, oh yeah, it is activated. Dude. So getting the crabs, yeah, I want it to be like, you know, like part of the economy of the, you know, the island is like crabs or something. Bruh. Duping. Yo, what's up, dude? We just figured out a dupe bug. Infinite crabs.
Nothing but retro except he doesn't T-code.
Oh, there you guys go. What's up? All the boys are here, dude. I don't know if I like that. What do you guys reckon? It's a little bit jank. Like, I can drop them on the, like, that's kind of... I feel like...
Nothing but retro, you trying to break the game MMM.
Not necessarily. I'm not trying to break the game, it's just kind of what happened.
Grud looks good other than how it spins at 10,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's easy enough to fix. I think I just want to not randomize the direction when I throw it down. Throw it down! The debugger. Okay, my debugger is going skits. Node not found, area 3D. So, oh yeah, I've got to just call this area 3D. So where is it? Crab pot scene. And that's the thing, is like, it's already inheriting something that's already inheriting rigid body. So it's like, do I want to make it a rigid body thing? I don't know, boys. I really don't know. I'm going to put live chat on as well, just in case people are saying unhinged shit on the YouTube chat.
Nothing but retro wrote a Python script for Blender to resize textures automatically for me, saves so much time, everything has 4K textures.
Sick, dude. That's really good. Yeah. Honestly, good use of Python. Really good use of Python. I am that close to making my own icon generator, because like I just used AI to create this like icon generator because I'm not too great with tools in Godot. So like all of these icons, like I've used the little icon generator for, and like I don't hate it, but I also don't really like it. It would be nicer if I could like load it up into some sort of Python script and then like do it automated, you know what I mean? But I don't know, like it's I don't know. I'm not going to do it now, but it is something that I've been thinking about, like for the sake of this game. But yeah, really good use of Python, dude. Hell yeah. How you guys doing anyway? It's a Tuesday in lovely Australia. Wait, where does the line start? Brazil. Is it Tuesday in Brazil, or is it still Monday in Brazil, dude? Yeah, 4K textures are bullshit, dude. The highest texture I'm using is 1024 by 1024. But most of the time I'm doing 256s or 512s depending on how complex of a thing I need. Like this here is probably one of the like higher resolution textures, and there's not really any way around it. Tuesday, come on England, score some fucking goals. Tuesday. So pretty cool. I was just showing off before the map.
Eric Knott is Monday 23H.
Can we duplicate these? Yes, we can. Look at that. We've got a dupe bug. But that's alright. I mean, most games have dupe bugs. We'll figure that out. Tuesday, the 23rd. Bro's living on another freaking planet. So I think I'm going to be able to throw through this.
Retro. I used a program to see how big the models were. My environment
but not
is
through
1 gig.
this.
My weapons are 10 gigs, so I'm shrinking all the weapons and finalizing animations.
My environment is 1 gig. My weapons are 10 gig. Yeah, dude. I start from like, I mean, look at my models, dude. That model is. Let's actually have a look. Trashbag.glb. That is 49 kilobytes. I love low poly, but I love small video games even more. As much as I love a big game.
Nothing but retro. All my ENV models are 1024, so 1K.
Yeah, 1K. I mean that's fine, you know. And obviously, like there are definitely like textures I'm using in this that is more than that, but. You know, and obviously I'm going for like a very like retro feeling, so I'm going to be using the limitations that they had back then. There are a few textures, I can't really think of them at the moment. Probably this one here, because it's actually got all of these textures in it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's probably a big one. I can't tell you the exact number. We've actually got to swap these images out. We've got a really cool one Forlorn sent me of like the shrimp. The Jesus shrimp. The holy shrimp.
Nothing but retro LMAO nice mosaics.
Yeah. It's literally just like a bunch of stand-in stuff. We got Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky's in chat. Boys, hit them Mr. Lucky's in chat. Dude, the only reason that I want to get membership for YouTube, I've been really avoiding memberships for YouTube, and I might do them. I might do memberships for YouTube, but that's just so people can like unlock the emotes, you know, because like you have to have memberships to have emotes in your chat, and I want to have like Mr. Lucky emotes on YouTube. That's basically it. I really don't want to gate off anything, like learning wise. Yeah, look at that trash. Okay, check out this this shader as well. Look how beautiful it is. The caustics. No, it's like quite late, but beautiful caustics. This we've got to do something about. So actually, I'm going to stick that over there. We're going to work on this water shader a little bit.
Nothing but retro looks nice.
It looks okay. I'm not going to say it's like beautiful because it's not, but it is nice. It's nice. The main issue that I have with it is how flat it looks, but I'm pretty sure if we just add some texture to the surface, it's going to fix that issue up real good. Like this, you know, it looks too smooth. The caustic, I absolutely love the caustic, so it's worth working with this. The caustics in the shoreline like are really nice. Like one issue that I had with shorelines is like they increase in size the further you get away. And also they don't work with the orthographic camera. If you look at the mini-map right now, how good does that mini-map look? Like everything looks the way that it should. So whoever made this water shader is an absolute legend. Like this is really, really good. Like look at that. Look at those caustics. They're like, they have depth to them. Like it's so beautiful. There's also like refraction and other stuff like that. This also uses the in-game like SSR. So like the in-engine SSR. So this doesn't do any ray marching of its own. This is actually the inbuilt Godot SSR that we got with 4.6. So I think last week I was talking about using that. Yeah, I actually got around to implementing it, which is really cool. Now, surface level textures. Let's have a look at this. So look, we can change the roughness, you know, to make it look like a little bit less like shiny. I kind of like the shine the way that it was, like there. Wait, what was it? About there. Yeah, about there. Change the specular amount, you know, things like that. But I found if you have it too high, it's like you can see clouds through the geometry from the SSR. So I've turned it down quite a bit. Beer's Law is quite cool. Actually, maybe we should have that a little bit higher. Just so like we can... Nah, it makes the water look like murky, doesn't it? The main thing, like, the main thing is being able to see the crabs inside the pots. Inside them crab pots.
Not really nice.
So, I'm not sure where I want the crab area to be. I think I want it to be like, not this zone. Although this is fine, alright boys? Wait, where did I get 2 from? Okay, I had 2 the whole time, did I? So we chuck them in the water and then we can use them. Yeah, I'm going to keep it like that. I'm honestly going to keep it. So you can like throw them long distance and they can land upside down. That's a little bit better than... It's a little bit more free form than like... who mentioned that before? Like predetermined places that I can put them. I really don't want to do that. I don't think that's fun. It's not like free form enough. It's not like what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not free enough, you know? Not enough freedom. You know that's what I'm all about. Freedom! But like see that? That's specular on the surface. I really don't like. I'm not a big fan of that.
Nothing
so we're going to do that again.
The planet.
Hack the planet. Yeah. I'm like the Joe Rogan of planet hacking. Ooh. So that's cool. Here we go. We're going to get a nice little view. Dude, this game's come so far. It really has. Like, just little bit by bit, I'm adding the things that I need in the game. I'm really happy with where it is, to be honest. Okay, so displacement scale is this here.
Crypto Moriarty 01, we need freedom units here in Oz.
Freedom units, bro. We don't have freedom in Australia. Sorry, did you say Australia, dude? I'm gonna need to see that government ID before you can watch any more of this stream, dude. I'm gonna need to see where you live. Show me your fingerprints, you dog. Not cool, bro. How dare you watch this without showing me your ID? Government ID, passport.
Basically.
Caustic range. I think that's the range down.
01, my ID is expired. Crud, if you can place them anywhere, then most players will dump them all in one spot, so maybe add some mechanics to incentivize placing them well.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, and it's something that I've thought about as well. It's either I'm going to have zones
Nothing
where
but
you can
retro,
place
I'm just
them,
waiting for them to show up at my house for something I've said online.
or, I mean, that's the future, dude, and then eventually people will get sick of it, and then it'll go back to being cool. But, you know, who knows what the future has in store for us, bro? Like, at the end of the day, like, you're doing the right thing, then, you know, even being persecuted for it is immoral, and you know you've done the right thing. Don't take that and run with it, though. That could be used as some sort of, like, extremism, violence. Extremist language, okay?
Eric, not whereas your ID, you're clearly 12 years old.
Yeah, clearly, dude. And, in saying that, I can't verify whether you're 13 or older, so give me your ID. Actually, your children might be on Roblox. Give me their face. Take a photo of their face and let us store it on our database. We promise we're not storing it in the database. You know they are, dude. You know they are. Okay, this normal map, I've added like a thing for the normal map, and it's not doing anything. Wait, normal map strength. Maybe it's this. Oh, okay, that's like surface normal map. Doesn't really do anything. We've got refraction strength as well. It's not really something I want to mess around with, the refraction. Normal map.
Eric, not kids in Brazil staged protests on Roblox, hahaha.
Yeah, well, gotta do something. Gotta do something, right, boys? You know, the world will go back to being a good place. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I don't get it. Like, all these people that are, like, rich and, like, in power, it's like, okay, you did what you wanted with the world, and now you're gonna die. Like, are you just doing it for your children, or what? Like, I just don't get it, dude. I really just don't get it. You know, like, my whole thing is, like, you want to better the world for everyone, not just yourself. But maybe their version of bettering the world is, like, is just different to ours. You know what I mean? I don't
Nothing
know.
but retro, it's not about money anymore when you have so much.
It's what I mean. It's like, so what is it about? It's like, what benefit could they have from, like, making everybody rent their property from now on? You know what I mean? Like, what benefit is that for anybody? Like, all it's going to do is centralize power and then put, like, a massive target on, like, you know, very few entities. I don't know, man. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, you know, they're talking about, like, putting server farms in space, because it's like, server farm, is that what they're called? Server farms, you know, where they, like, you know, do AI. And it's like, well, let's say, like, they make a whole shitload of server farms, and then people just start, like, bombing them or lighting them on fire or something. You know, like, people start getting radical or whatever. And then they put them in space, and it's like, well, can't bomb them in space. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, is that why they're doing it? You know? Because it's not like people are getting too radical now, but, like, you know, as we start to lose more and more and more freedoms, it's like, that's what's going to happen. Like, people are going to get fucking crazy, you know? Because it's always, like, historically, that's what's happened. People lose their freedoms and they just go, well, screw it, I got nothing to lose. You know? And that's what generally makes people go radical, when they've got absolutely nothing to lose. And, like, we're like raising generations of people that are going to have absolutely nothing to gain by, like, doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It's not like I'm going to go fucking burn down a government building or anything like that. Because, you know, I've, like, lived my life, and I'm jaded, but I'm not, like, you know, completely doomer, because doomers, I think, is just a bit cringe. You know, being a doomer is cringe. you know, you got to have optimism, right? But like these people that are like, you know, they're born into this world with like no chance at all. It's like, what are they going to do? You know, maybe not our children, but our children's children. Maybe they won't know any different. Who knows? But maybe they'll be like, wait, so I'm going to never be able to own anything. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? I can't imagine it being like a good thing in the long run, even for the people like setting these systems up. I don't know. That's my rant for the morning, boys. I don't know. But it's something I think about a little bit. Because, yeah, walls are closing in. You know? I got to show my ID to crank off now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happened quick. It was like, wait.
At least they can own a copy of Beta and escape to Crab Island.
Yeah. At least they can own a copy of Beta and my other games, you know?
Nothing but retro, lol. I missed most of it, but my 2 cents is they want us dead, so be wary.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, you know, they've been pushing for less population for a long time, you know. Don't know why. You know, like, I can sit here and try and figure out why, but it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know why. I don't know what goes through their head. We're so far separated from them, you know what I mean? Like the ruling class or whatever you want to call them. It's like, I'm just like a normal dude and I want the best for everybody. But like, for some reason, they don't see it that way. Don't know. All right, you guys can help me with this anyway. That's my rant done for the morning. About control systems and how I can't buy a house anymore. How much that pisses me off. But this is the beach club right here. So where should we put the sign for the beach club? And what can we call the beach club? I'm thinking the sign can go here on the wall. But I don't know what we should call the beach club. What do you fellas reckon? The beach club. What's a cool name for a beach club? You know? And like I was saying before, the only reason for the hospital is if I have some sort of respawning system, this is where you'll spawn. So, like, you'll get, you know, your medical bill. You know, if you get into a fight and you lose the fight, like, you'll get a medical bill and you'll just spawn at the hospital. That's the point of the hospital. There's really no other point for it. That's why it's only, like, one little room. I might change hospital to something else, but I don't know. We're also messing around with indoor...
The crunky crab.
The crunky crab.
LJK.
Hey man, it's an idea. You know, I don't hate the idea. The crunky crab. Like, I do want the world to be, like, quite crab themed, I think. You know? Like the crab religion. You know, the crabs that you can get. How are we going to create an algorithm that incentivizes spreading out your crab pots? You know what I mean? Like, whoever mentioned it before, it's like, it doesn't make sense to have them all in the same spot, right? Yeah, let's pull this up. So, yeah, I'll just grab the most recent render. So, why is that so dodgy? There we go. So let's say like we put a bunch of crab pots like here, you know, where we were. How are we going to make it so a crab pot here can maybe have like a radius on it?
Crypto Moriarty 01 more nutritious or resourceful areas in the water similar to a farming game with hotspots.
Yeah, but still, like if we put...
You could have signs in the water with a crab on it so the player knows you get better crab spawns there, but it caps at like 3 pots.
Yeah, but if we have a bunch of pots, how are we going to actually set that logic up? You know what I mean? Like, is it that what I'll do is I'll check to see how many pots are in the immediate
head, or maybe a minimum distance between the pots.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It needs to be a bit of both. It needs to be minimum distance.
Mighty Mork 4 raiders from Mighty Mork have joined.
Oh no.
Yo.
Mighty _
Oh, you actually had your stream going, dude? Dude, I didn't even realize, man.
She's stabbing people in chat.
You gotta watch out for Britney Spears in chat, by the way, fellas. Might get stabbed.
Crud, but how does the player know if their pot is places optimally?
Trial and error, I think. I don't wanna handhold. Welcome, by the way, Marky. You guys should go follow Mighty Mork.
01, it's Brittany B.
Go follow Mighty Mork. He's an admin, friend of the channel. He's also just gotten better internet and another computer for streaming. So he should be streaming a little bit. And I think in the future we're going to be doing like cross streams, right?
Figure out dual stream. I just reconfigured my shit and did a test stream.
Yeah, cool, man.
Mighty Mork seemed legit.
How'd it go? Did you have people come in and be like, oh my god, Marky's back, oh my god? Because you should, you know? I can imagine. We got the SKs coming in. Got like some more of those SKs.
Mighty Mork, we got Mork before GTA 6.
We got Mork before GTA 6, yeah. That's exactly what I mean.
Mighty Mork, shout out Vigilante.
Yeah, what up, Vigilante? That's a name I haven't heard for a while. I remember your swag boys. Yeah, look, we're not doing much. Like, we are. We are. We are doing a bit. Area 3D. Ah, shit. Item rigid. So we're doing a little bit, okay? We've gotten quite a little bit done. So I'll show you what we've got so far. I think I've been showing you a little bit on like Discord and stuff like that, right? But we've got crab pots, right? We've also got I need to make the crab pot, sorry, I need to make that crab pot weight more. So I'm thinking I'll make it weigh like 5 kilos just so it doesn't go through the air when we throw it. It'll do a little bit of a spin because we are throwing it, but it also means we can just drop it and no real issue. We're going to be able to walk through it as well because we don't want it to bug through the ground. So if we place our crab pot here, you see it doesn't do anything, right? But if we place our crab pot in the water, what's that? We start to get crabs. So, okay, let's have a look at the logic, okay? So, the way that it works is we've got a crab catch timer, right? It's a timer that
Mighty
goes
Mork, I had
every
crabs
1
before
second
it
at
was
the
cool.
moment. I had crabs before, it was cool. Yeah, they weren't as cool when I had them. Every 1 second, let's say every interval, because this interval is going to change. I'm going to change it to like 20 seconds or something eventually. I just need to keep it low so we can actually see that it's working. This is the timeout here. So all I'm doing is I'm checking to make sure that the position is less than 0, meaning it's in the water. And then we just run a random amount and then we add the crabs. Yeah? So what we should do is have another little one here, just called like add crab. Func add crab. The void. And then we just chuck that little bit of logic in there. Well, actually, that's what spawn crab does. So we're checking.
Epic Sales 2 legendary refresh poll.
No, we're going to undo that. We're going to undo that. Screw it. Legendary refresh pool. That's right, dude. If you want to be informed of when I stream, make sure you come onto the Discord, and basically this time every week is when I do my streams. About this time every week. So whatever the time is in your region, this is when I do my streams. And I only do it once a week. Like on a blue moon, I might stream more than once a week, but really, not really. I don't know. I might do more, but you know, it's just, I like to interact with you guys, like, and kind of give advice and show off what I'm working on and shit like that. I don't really treat streaming as like a job like some people do. I guess they make money from it, but like, I don't know, dude. I think if I spent 24 hours or like 7 days a week streaming, I'd probably eventually say something that got me cancelled. Nothing in particular.
Pixels, too cool stuff.
Just,
I'll remember next
you
time.
know, just yeah. I don't know. I go through phases where I'm like, I can be fucked streaming and I can't be fucked streaming, you know? So like 2 days in a row is cool. But like, oh dude, streaming takes so much effort, dude. So let's have a think about this, right? I'm going to bring up that paint. So let's say we put a crab pot right here. We're trying to think about how, what we're trying to solve right now is if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crab pots right there on the exact same spot, how are we going to make it so the amount that each crab pot can generate is divided by 7, right? So let's say there's 7 of them here. How do we divide that by 7? Right? The chances. How do we divide that by 7? And what's a decent distance?
Pixels 2, I've only done one stream and yet it was tiring. I didn't even get anything done.
That's basically it. Is like I find it hard to code while I'm on stream. So I like to do a lot of problem solving and like, you know, I scam ideas out of you guys and other little things like that while I'm streaming. And then when I'm not streaming, I add a whole bunch of stuff. Because you guys saw, like, the stuff that I've added to the game since last week is, like, I've added, obviously, some UI stuff. I've added, like, being able to throw stuff, pick things up, throw it. I added a whole bunch of extra geometry. I've added, like, you know, as I'm walking around, like, what do you call it? Like, view bob, you know? Like, first-person view bob. Showing the item in my hands while I'm walking around. Like, I've done a lot in the last week, and I've only really worked on it a couple days. And then what did I do? Last week I did a tutorial on how to do stair walking, which, you know, could be a little bit smoother, but, you know, it's good enough. You know? Yeah, item sway I'm going to add eventually when I add the footsteps. Yeah, I added a plastic bag. That's it. I actually did that just yesterday. Item sway, I'm going to add when I add the footstep sounds. So at the moment, the issue I'm having with the footstep sounds is I need to figure out a way to detect not just the mesh that's underneath me. I need to detect the specific material that is on the triangle or the polygon that is underneath me when I check. Because in Blender, I've got metadata attached to that surface. So like this, if you have a look at this, down here in the custom properties, I've got surface type where you can barely see that because of the watermark.
Side 13, hell yeah, it's coming together rockin'.
How do I do this? Yeah, what's up, dog? Okay, we can kind of see it a little bit better now. If I make it smaller, that's what she said. This surface type here, look, so I've got metadata set for each of these surface types, and now I need to figure out a way to get Godot to read that, not just from the mesh below me, but from the actual material on the triangle underneath me, and I don't know if it's possible. If not, it means that like anywhere I have a different material, I would need to turn that into its own layer, and I don't want to do that because then that layer will only have like one material on it. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's pretty complicated, really. Wait, how do I bring back that sidebar? Yeah, there we go. So each like of these layers has like a bunch of different materials on them. If it only had one, I could do it today. I could get the sounds in today. But I tried it a little bit, and it's like, yeah, it's difficult. And like I said, I don't even know if it's possible. But I'm gonna need to come up with something.
Grud, what happens if you step on a live crab?
The crab dies. No, actually, the crab will just like shoot through the ground. Mine's Eye 13. Very swag. It is coming along. It's coming along, and it's starting to look really good. I'm actually really enjoying working on it. Every time I load it up, I enjoy working on it.
Inventory boxes that looks very cool.
Yeah, that's it. It's liquid glass. I can give you guys the because like I had it mentioned in the Discord the other day. It was like it would be really cool to use like a Frutiger or Frutiger Aero theme, just because it's like it's trendy at the moment. But obviously, I'm a 90s kid and I love that shit. 90s kid. I hate saying that. I'm like in my 30s, my mid 30s now. I'm not a fucking kid. But I was a 90s kid. And that shit was like, it was everywhere. Not just the liquid glass, right? But like the high contrast of the green to the blue, you know, like even the mini map, like all of that sort of stuff. It really could benefit from a Frutiger. Yeah, exactly. And it just kicks ass, dude. Like it looks cool. It kicks ass. But I'm thinking about how I can add it to the mini map as well. You know, like have like a bunch of like different things, you know, like have my money and like my health, but I'm not sure if I want to have meth. I'm not sure if I want to have
nothing but
health.
retro. My second game is going to be a wrestling game, old school and 64 style.
Mid-30s is the new 21. Damn straight, dude, you know? I got more experience than the people in the 21s, you know? If I was 21 again, I would be an idiot. Think about it like that. I'm a smart boy now. I'm a smart boy. I know stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is another thing I added, right? This is actually pretty cool. I've got a spring arm 3D. I just want to tell you guys about this right now, right? Let's say I throw this. Let's say I drop this, right? It drops in front of me, right?
Mighty Mork dude is straight fibbing.
But I don't want to... Shut up, dude. Shut the hell up, dude. If I want to drop this, right, in front of me, but I'm against a wall, I'm going to drop it inside the wall and it's just going to go disappear, right? So I'm actually using a spring arm right now to make sure that I can't drop stuff inside walls. So if I go to drop this now, it'll drop behind me. Or if I do this, it's going to just drop underneath me, you know? Pretty sick, right?
I'm a smart boy now.
Yeah, exactly. And if I was freaking 21, I wouldn't know that because I was a freaking idiot. I'm a smart boy now. I'm a smart man now. We set up the zoom as well. Look, we've got a little zoom button on the screen. I got to start using that more because the zoom button is hilarious, dude. Okay, so think about this. We need to figure out the crab logic.
Smart BOI.
Yeah, I got to put up in big letters as well. You need to clip me. People need to start making clips of me, all right? That goes for you guys on fuck, what's it called? On Twitch. It goes for you guys on YouTube as well. You guys need to start making clips of me when I say something funny or say something cool or I do something swag, because I've been trying to like make shorts of like my content and like I can't be fucked, so just do it for me. Sound good? Okay, the shorts that people have made of me is I really appreciate them. It's really funny. But like I think Twitch tries to like incentivize you somehow. You know, you got like top clipper for the day. Okay, here we go. Nothing but retro. My second game is going to be a wrestling game, old school N64 style. Have you guys played fuck, what's the name of it? It's by a guy named M. Dickey. Bruh. Wrestling Empire. That's the one. Check this out, boys.
Oh boy, top clipper, my life's goal.
Yeah, my life's goal, top clipper. That's it. Maybe I'll make it so, like, you know, each stream, like, every stream, like, the top clipper I'll give, like, a CD key to or something like that. Bruh, this game kicks ass.
Epic Sales 2, these M. Dickey games are so weird.
This game is so freaking good, dude. It's good in a way that's like, okay, so it's good in a way where you're actually doing the storyline of the wrestler. So it's very like WWE, you know, like you come up with a storyline, you have a lot of like what do you call it? Like back rooms. What do they call it when they go off the stage and they go into the back area? Yeah, the backstory, but also like, you know, yeah, like this.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, your backroom brawls,
yeah.
Where like you have like a feud with like your arch nemesis and stuff like that, and you can like start fights and stuff. It's really, really, really funny. If you guys have never played it, honestly, like this game is fantastic. I've got 35 hours in it, which is a lot for me.
Ever back in the day, SmackDown style.
Yeah, what was that other one? WWF Raw? WWE Raw? It was Raw, right? There was Raw, there was SmackDown, there was, what was the other one called? There was, what is it, King of the Ring?
Nothing but retro WCW Monday Night Nitro. Nothing but retro, yet all of those were correct. Epic Sales 2, I have a good history with M. Dickey games, they are weirdly fun.
Kind of embarrassing, but back when I was like 12 years old, my favorite wrestler, was it 12 years old? Something like that. My favorite wrestler was The Rock. The Rock! The people's elbow. You know, he takes off his like thing and throws it into the crowd. And then my older brother's favorite was Stone Cold Steve Austin, 316, Texas Rattlesnake. Do I look like a bitch? Wait, is that him or does Rock say that? I can't remember, dude. Texas Rattlesnakes, Austin 316.
Forlorn creature, I gotta head off in a minute, but what is happening in the game dev today?
So let me show you. We got our crab pots working, right? First of all, we've got our fruitager. I don't know how to say it. Somebody needs to correct me. Fruitager or fruitager, right? Because like they're spelt the same, but I'm sure they're spelt wrong. Like the UI, like look how nice this looks. Like that liquid glass effect. It's cool.
Forlorn creature, first one.
Fruitiger, right? So I drop my crab pot.
Fruitiger.
So I drop the crab pot, right? Fruitiger, like that. Fruitiger, arrow. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying the j, like GIF, you know, GIF. So. Got the crab pot. We're not in the water. No crab spawn.
Forlorn creature, arrow fruit.
Drop the crab. Look at that. Drop the crab. Drop the crab pot, and now we get the crabs.
Forlorn creature, yet it's pronounced like GIF.
So that's what we got last time, wasn't it? We had already done that last time, but what I did today was we got the crab pots to be an actual like physics item. So we can like drop them wherever we want. And now we've got to come up with a logic to stop like, well, first of all, we've got to stop We've got to stop the duplication bug. Let me show you. We've just discovered a duplication bug. So check this out. If I throw and then grab.
01 add some squids who shoot ink as you are crabbing. Forlorn creature, can the cage explode when you throw it at a wall and then you pick up the crabs?
We duped. We duped. Look at that. Dupe bug. Duping. There we go. We just turned 1 into 8. You see that? Can the cage explode when you throw it at a wall and then you pick up the crabs? Nah, because the way it works is like you pick the crabs up out of the crab pot before you can pick the crab pot up. Yeah, so we got to figure that out. It's okay. We just discovered it before. Right, but what we want to stop from happening, and this is why I just duplicated them, is I want to stop this from being incentivized. You know what I mean? Because, you know, only X amount of crabs are ever going to be in a certain, like, area. You know what I mean? So I don't want you to just quickly be able to get, like, you know, 100 freaking crabs like this just by putting them all down in the same spot. Really, what it should do is, let's say we've got 8 in, like, really close area to each other. It should divide the chances of getting a crab by 8, right? Because it's only going to go to one of those crab pots.
With good OL await get tree create timer 01 timeout.
Oh, I worked the dupe bug out. I just got to look at the code. Obviously, it's just like, I might be call deferring or something like that. I might be deferring a call, and I've just got to figure out which one, you know. Like, it'll be really, really easy to fix. I've just got to actually have a look at it. I don't care to look at it right now, to be honest. Look at that, dude. We got so many crabs. Now we got to figure out the story with the crabs, boys. Look at that. What's that? What's 8 times 9? Like 82? Wait, 8 times 9, 72. So we get a whole bunch of crabs. We go to...
creature, maybe areas in the ocean have a set amount of crabs that regenerate over time.
Yeah. So I mean, I could start to like work on a solution, but it's going to be a mix of a couple different things, isn't it? Look at that. Oh my god, it looks like, what's that island called? It is Christmas Island, right? With all the crabs. Is that it? Christmas Island? You should know, you're Australian. Christmas Island crabs. Let me just Google that real quick. You guys have never seen that. It's just freaky. Crabs just like infest the island. Oh my god, it actually is. That is fucked, bro.
You gotta make sure the crab Konami is under control.
I can't show too much of this, bro. Dude, I got so many copyright strikes last freaking stream. Oh my god, I got so many.
Forlorn creature, crab rave.
Crab rave. This is the IRL crab rave, dude. This is their Coachella, dude. They're just like, they infect the whole island.
I use the Doom RNG table for my game player and enemy attacks. Use it, anything can use it, just another roll of the dice.
Look at that! Hectic, dude. Anyway, that's that. So maybe I'll do that. Like, there'll be a storyline where, like, the crabs are just walk onto the island or something like that. I don't know. Walk across the island.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying, bro. I'm old school. I use Doom RNG table for my game. Player and enemy attacks use it. Anything can use it. Just another roll of dice. A Doom RNG table. I mean, I just use random, just randf, you know. Like, I know that people can like
crabs have taken over and you wanna exterminate.
Yeah, but what about the religion, the crab religion? You know, the crab sacrifice. What can be the relevance there? The crab sacrifice. We need to have the crab altar as well. Crab altar. I'm actually thinking of like modeling the interior of this church.
Crypto Moriarty 01 blood crab cult.
The blood crab cult. Yeah. The crab blood cult. Oh, dude, don't like crabs bleed like blue? Isn't crab blood blue? And they use it for stuff? Oh my god, they do. Like some medical shit? Hold on, let's have a look. It said, I kind of want to have like some loose like relevance to this stuff.
Nothing but retro at the very end of religion training can summon a giant crab like in Conan Exiles.
Horseshoe crab blood is bright blue due to a copper-based oxygen-carrying protein called homocyanin. Ooh, cyan?
Crypto Moriarty 01 those
rather than the
prehistoric-looking
iron-based
horse crabs.
hemoglobin found in humans. This blood is medically crucial for detecting. I also noticed it does this. Why does it do numbers like that? Like where I can't copy it. What is that? It's like it's doing some scientific notation to give me like a number, like a price. I've noticed that it does that in that weird font. The AI overview. Very strange. So it can be like the crab blood. Dude, that's it. Crab blood cult. That's a good idea, fellas. Those prehistoric looking horse crabs. What is a horse crab?
Nothing but retro, I like it.
Yeah, well, it'll have something to do with that. We'll figure it out. Horseshoe crab. Oh my god, what the hell is that, dude? That's not a crab. What the frick is that? Ugh. What is that? Alright, that's two of them trying to bang. That's gross, dude. Yeah, we don't want that.
Kabuto.
Yeah, Kabuto, that's right.
Crypto Moriarty 01 Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah, that's
Give
it.
me head alien shit.
Literally, man. Crazy, dude. Okay, so we can have some kind of like... some like crab blood cult. Interesting. And then like... they'll be like, okay, so... I've been thinking about this, right? Like, there'll be places where you can put stuff overnight. So like we won't do, let's say there was a basket or something like that you had to put these crabs in, right? Maybe it sits out front of the church. Maybe there's a specific spot like the altar or something like that where you put the crabs on, and then overnight we do like a detection on how many are there. We calculate a number, and then we give you X amount of Y. You know what I mean? So let's say like we had a mission where we were trying to clean up the island, where we have to grab as many bags of trash as we can. It's kind of really hard to see. I really got to add like a little Omni light on the player or something like that.
Forlorn creature, a big rock gets dropped on the crabs and they splat.
Yeah, and maybe you won't know that. It'll be like collect 100 crabs.
A fleshlight needed.
It'll be like collect 100 crabs, and then you collect the crabs. It opens up the church. You can finally go into the church, and then they're just like, the crab ritual has begun, and then all the blood just goes everywhere, and then they just like some hectic shit like that, you know? I'm writing down blue crab blood. Blue crab blood death cult. And then we'll have to change the cross on the top there to like maybe a little crab or something like that. I don't know. So let's say one of the missions was to clean up the island and to grab as many bags of trash as you can and then put them in like a dumpster or something like that, you know? Maybe there's a dumpster. And that's like a way that you can make cash, like real early way that you can make cash, right? Like super early in the game. Because I kind of want there to be like a garbage dump, like right here, like in this area. I really got to add a button that like speeds time up, but I don't have one in there yet. Just because of Sky 3D, like I've just got to work out how Sky 3D works. Oh, that moon sucks, dude. It's a really shitty spot for the moon. So it'll be like you have to go and shove trash on the barge or something like that, and that's like the trash barge, and maybe that only comes every 2 days or something like that, you know, or like every 3 or 4 days. you get a trash barge come in, and then you just like can hoard all of the trash and then throw it all out. You know what I mean? Oh, that looks bad. You know what I mean? Like, I want the surface of the water to actually have, like, you know, ripples and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I might have to modify this shader a little bit to add in the stuff that I want, you know. Not really having a lot of luck, like, messing with it too. Okay, so barge or something like that. Also, I need to figure out what to put over here. Like, this whole corner I need to rework a little bit, because I might move this tower over and put it somewhere else on the island, because like I kind of want this area to be like more industrial, you know? And being industrial means that I need to have like a road, you know, where like trucks can go in. So like this, and you can't see the back of these fences, by the way, that's intentional for right now. Yeah, I'm thinking of using this area for all of the industrial stuff. So like where you turn plastic into oil, you know, you'll rent the machine off of like some dude that works here or something like that, you know? Yeah, I'm not too sure. There's a lot of like half-baked ideas that I have, but I know generally what I want to do. And maybe there'll be like, yeah, a trash barge like right here. So there'll be like a concrete jetty that goes out into the ocean here. And the trash barge will rock up, and then you just like throw your trash onto the barge, like directly onto it, you know? And then for each bag that you chuck on, it'll give you like, you know, $5 or something like that.
Are you using Lightmap GI? I switched to Guy saw Guy matching Unreal Engine 4 with it, nice results, but all my lights are too bright now. So
we're going for like a retro feel where we're just going to use directional lights, essentially. I've got screen space ambient occlusion on. As far as like SS effects, I've got screen space ambient occlusion, and I think that's it. Because I don't really want to have things like exposure and auto exposure and other little things like that. I don't really care about that too much, you know? I did turn on the SDF GI for a sec. Maybe I'll turn it on again. We'll have a look at what it looks like, okay? Let's go 3D. So we go into the environment, and here we go. SDF GI. Boom, that's what it looks like. So I'm not a big fan of like the exposure stuff. Like, it does look good, but it's also adding a little bit of overhead that I can't really deal with. You know what I mean?
Nothing but retro. I got a lot of crap on SSIL volume trick fog FSAAECT.
Ooh, we've got a texture, misaligned texture. It's like kind of wrong. That looks kind of arse. I'm not really a big fan of that. You know, like, I guess it looks nice, but also like, you know, I don't know. I mean, it makes it look very blue when I turn it off though, doesn't it? So we get the SSIL. Looks a bit like that. And then we've just got the SSAO that I have turned on at the moment.
Retro, it works fast enough for me, and if your textures are tiny, it should be fine. Gotta limit the lights and shit. You can have it on default.
True. True. But I don't know. I really want that like retro feeling, you know? So like less screen space effects, the better, you know? So, okay, let's think about this.
100.
This thing, this algorithm. Okay, so we put one crab pot down, and then we have another crab pot over here, right? So we kind of need to work out like the distance that we can put them apart from each other as well. You know, like in here, there's actually going to be buildings. So we can't really use this area, although that might be okay in there. I know here I'm actually reserving for a building. It's going to be on stilts. I just haven't done it yet. So maybe like 2 crab pots here. You know what I mean? And then we'll have to check to see if there's any crab pots around. You know what I mean? Let's figure out a distance. Let's do that. So go into my main scene. Let's go over to here. Let's say you put one crab pot here. Where's the closest that you want to be able to put another one and have it not be affected by the proximity of another crab pot? Like 20 meters? Like 20-meter radius is alright. Then you can put one here.
Nothing but retro like 1520 m.
What about 25 meters? We'll try 25 meters because then we can work that into the code quite easily, right? So we'll just go straight to this here. Okay, now how are we going to work out our proximity? We need to crab pot scene. Maybe we can add this. Add to group crab pots, right? That's going to help us identify the crab pots. Although we've got class name crab pot 2. I'm going to give that a skip. Ooh, Cassiopeia. That's what's up. Okay, so the crab catch timer timeout. We need to put the logic here. So we'll go var default threshold is a float equals 0.4. So you know, obviously the way that it works is we generate a number between 0 and 1, and our threshold is 0.4. So anything below that. So what's 100 divided by 40? 2.5. 2.5. So what's 40% chance? Yeah, 40% chance every 1 second. So then we need to divide that by the amount in proximity, right? Divided by amount pots in proximity. There we go. So then we need to create var pots in proximity int equals 0. Okay, well that's not going to work. That's divided by 0 is going to equal 0. So we've got to have that as 1. Unless it's like divided by 1 plus pots in proximity. No, it's always going to be 1.
Nothing but retro.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking says time to divide everything by 0.
Yeah, so does my calculator. Divide my shit. Divide my shit. So pots in proximity. How do we then check for pots in proximity? Get pots in proximity. So we're going to create a new function. We'll do it here. And that's going to
Nothing but
return
retro
an
add
integer.
area 3D to the scene route that S25M
A
circle
return
radius.
1. Maybe.
Crypto Moriarty 01
Get
pots
your
safe
ass in
space.
class. Get your ass in class.
Nothing but retro, so it's dynamic.
Pots in safe space. could, but then I don't know. I think the way that we should do it is like a one-to-many. So here, this is what we do. We go var all pots.
Nothing but retro, you already got an area 3D in there doing something.
Yeah, that's for the interaction. So that area 3D is an area where our interaction system can like detect the object. So var all pots is an array
interesting
equals get tree. This probably isn't the best way to do it. Nodes in group, grab pots, right? Grab pots. All nodes in group grab pot. So we've got all the pots. For pot, wait. If all pots equals 1, then we just return 1. Return 1. If all pots.size, right? Because we're including ourselves. And 1 is the lowest that we can go, right? So always include self. Never return 0. So all pots. For pot in all pots. For pot, we'll just call it a node 3D for now.
Nothing but retro signals, baby, yet Austin Powers voice, I'm a signal monster now.
So var pots in procs int equals 1. Var pots in procs equals 1. Cool. So for pot distance, how do we measure the distance between two things in Godot? There's a quick way to do it. Distance 2. I need to Google it. Distance 2, it is. Oh, it's a vector 3. Okay, so it's not from the node 3D. Okay. So global position dot distance 2. Distance 2 pot dot global position. And then obviously we're going to need a for the crab pot. Crab pot, what should we call it? It's like the detection radius. And like obviously we could move this into like a config, like a global config or something like that, but we can do that later. You know, like maybe in the items manager, but that's not really what that's for. It's more of like a game config value, right? So detection radius float equals, what was that, 30 meters? 30 meters. Detection radius. So if, what is that distance? Distance to pot. If distance to pot less than detection radius, we can go pots in procs plus equals 1. And then we should probably print the pots in procs just so we can see if it's working. Duplicate bug? Nah, we'll just walk our shit over there. So it doesn't count when it's in my hand.
Nothing but retro takes forever to export my weapons. I don't bake the animations, seems like it doesn't do shit anyways if I do or don't.
Where's the other one? What do you mean 3? Why are there 3 pots in proximity? Ah. Right, we can't include self. If pot is self, then continue. So it's including itself. If pot equals self, then continue, so we don't worry about that. Detection radius. If pot equals self or pot dot global position dot y is less than 0, no, greater than 0, meaning it's not in the water, right? It shouldn't count. So this number should now go back down to 1. Yeah, cool. So in the debug, it's going to 1 because at the moment we've only got 1 pot in the water doing any work right now, but it was detecting itself. It was detecting the other pot next to it. Yeah, and then it was adding 1. So it's starting at 1. So you see here, this pot's working. Alt tab, it's at 1. We drop this one in. Now all of a sudden it's at 2. So it should be halving. And then if we drop this one in as well. So I can't remember if we actually set the logic up or not. Now it should be a third, right? Yeah, 3. So we got 3, 1, 2, 3. Turn that down a little bit. Demons! Ooh. Takes forever to export my weapons. I don't bake the animations. Seems like it doesn't do shit anyways if I do or not. Fuck knows, bro. Signals, baby. Yeah, signals are really, really good. To midnight. Signals are great. Even as like somebody who's come from doing UI with Qt and Python, signals are your best friend. You should use them as often as you can. Between objects, well, maybe not as often as you can, but like I said, if it's one to many, use a signal. Yeah, and then just hook it up. So get pots in proximity. Yeah, we're already dividing it, right? Oh, that's sick. So let's quickly grab these. And by grab, I mean duplicate. The duplicate bug is actually really handy, honestly. So now when I place these pots down, they should be collecting fuck all.
Shinkrod could output the thresh to console and see.
Scratch. Minutes to midnight. Look at that. They're not collecting anywhere near as quick as they were before. And remember, this logic happens every single second.
Shinkrod, the duplicate bug is a debug tool now.
Yeah, it's a debug tool. It is working, look. It is definitely working. Like I said, we've just got to change the detection delay, whatever you want to call it, the timer delay to like, I don't know, 20 seconds
Nothing
or something like that.
Debug Draw 3D must have plugin.
Alright, I'll be back in a minute. I gotta piss. Oh. Hell yeah, boys, though. We got it working. That's sick as, eh? Actually, before I go piss, I'm gonna check one thing. And that is that if we grab a pot and we go more than 30 meters away, this is still gonna be printing. No, it's not printing to the console. That's good. If I go over here,
brain moment.
and yeah, big brain moment, oath, dude. Just like, I just don't want to, look at that. Oh, there we go. And we're getting the 40% every 1 second, the full amount on this. Boys, I'm so impressed with you guys. Thanks for helping me. Thanks for your help, boys. Like, maybe you can buy the crab pots from the general store. That'll be like one of the first things that you can buy, I think. Yeah, that's sick as. Alright, I gotta piss. I gotta piss real bad.
Pixels too freaking sick, yes. Pixels 2 Ocean Ambience hits right.
Really gotta put something on the screen for when I'm BRBing, hey. We're gonna have like some BRB theme. Oh, something cool on screen while I'm BRBing. I mean, I have the videos and shit, but like, they kind of just get old. Woo! Hell yeah, Ocean Ambience, man. It's real good. I have to work out how to do buoyancy on like objects, right? So like on this rigid items, I kind of need to have another export variable like floats, can float equals, I guess we're going to go true for all of them by default, because what do we got? We've got the, oh my god, where is it? So the crab pot is a rigid now. It's kind of weird, but it is. So the crab pot scene, we need to make sure that can float is off, so it just like drops. And then we need to devise a floating, bit of floating code. So it's also going to need to react to the, what do you call it? The noise map that's on the water surface, right? So maybe what I've got to do is I've got to save the noise out of that shader as a resource that I can use across the board. So you see how, like, you know, the water moves a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's going up or down, but it is. And I've got to make the floating point wherever that point is. So it'll be 0 with a little bit of offset, right? So I've already got a buoyancy code for my player. It's a little bit complicated though. Can't hop past slot. No, it's this buoyancy here. So we're just going to see if it works. Like that there. You kind of got to take the depth. And the depth is... a zone detect. Do I want a zone detection as well on it? You know how we did like the we've got a buoyancy like zone checker. So we've got zones where there is no buoyancy. Although I'm not sure I want to really keep that. It was for like an underground hatch. But like what I can do is I can make it so you teleport to that hatch, but that hatch is actually 2,000 units away, so you can't actually see it. And then maybe I'll put like a bit of rocks in front of it or something so you can't actually see it, as opposed to actually putting it under the ground. Because I feel like this whole zone detection stuff, like a buoyancy blocker area detection stuff, this is probably going to be quite expensive to run on every single item if they're not sleeping, right? So this here, I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to go to that rigid items rigid scene. Oh, let's see. And then in, because it's a rigid body, I don't even know if this is going to work really. Physics process. Global position Y. Buoyancy strength. Well, I don't remember what that is. It's in player. Buoyancy strength. What do I have? A 10? I don't even know what that means, man. That's for the player though. We're just gonna go 10 plus the depth. I'm going to try that. Ooh, okay. Wait, did I mess with the player? Oh, I did. I messed with the one in the player. I'm going to make it 10. And then do we have a velocity? Oh, we don't have a velocity for a rigid body. Because we need to add a force, don't we? Okay, well maybe we can like what do you call it? An impulse. Apply central impulse. What's the difference between a force and an impulse? Applies a directional force without affecting rotation. I mean that kind of what I want, right? Apply central force
is what I use for everything.
Yeah, I use impulses for everything too, but maybe I want a force because technically this is what I want, right? Buoyancy. So it's going to be, and then we've got, that's the damping. So it's got a bit of damping on it. Screw it. Let's try and go vector 3, 0, and then this is our up. So we want gravity is like negative. What if we add like just buoyancy and then 0? Let's try that. Let's see what that does. Oop. Okay. Okay, so it does work. Everything's flying up into the air though. So if depth if global position is less than 0, return. Yeah? Above 0. And now we should have floaties. Let's go see. I kind of want it to bounce, but it's kind of got to be based on the weight, doesn't it? We'll grab a few different things. Fish. Although the fish, I don't know. So check this out, right? We should be able to throw it into the water. No? If the global position is greater than 0, then return. So print here. Okay, so we are getting there. So let's have a look. Buoyancy force. I mean, it's just going to be 9.8, right? Unless we want to negative the buoyancy force, maybe that's it. It's pushing down. I want to know what love is. Look at it. It's rolling along the surface. So there we go. We've got a bit of buoyancy in there. And this is why the damping is important too. We kind of need to add some damping. Is there damping in like the rigid body itself? We kind of do. We do have damping. So these water bottles, we want to try it on the bottle because the bottle is the thing that's moving the most. Linear damping. Okay, that's it's just bouncing along. Hey, it is damping though, I think.
Pixels too, yeah it does, but you have to enable it right.
Yeah. It's slowing down, right? See that? We should slow it down while it's in the water. Okay, so I was just trying to mess with this damping here. I want you to show me. Dun, 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 dun. It's not velocity. What is it? It's damp mode. Nah, what is it? How can we do it, boys? We're bouncing up, but we need to also add like a
linear velocity.
How do we damp? Yeah, linear velocity equals linear velocity times 0.9 or something. Yeah. Times equals 0.9, just like this here. If it's under the surface. If it's above the surface, don't worry about it. It's just when it's... Thank you for that. I needed that. I want you to show me. So this isn't too bad. I thought it was going to be like a bit of a hit on the FPS. But I guess it depends how many things are actually in the water. And it needs to do it if it's not sleeping. If it's sleeping, then it doesn't matter. And also, I don't... Oh my god, I can see the reflection. You see that of the milk carton? It's so dodgy. Whatever. Like that. I still want to set it to sleep. I don't want it to just like roll. That's the angular velocity as well. I suppose we could, yeah, we need to also do it to the angular velocity. I want you to show me. And then we need to know if it's falling asleep or not. That looks like it's falling asleep, right, boys? That looks like it's slept. That's awesome. If it is, that's really good. Because then, like I said, I kind of want to...
Pixels 2 yet.
I'll have a look at, like, actually getting the noise from the surface of the water, like this noise, and then actually sampling that. Potentially, if we want to go a step further, but I don't want that much stuff to be in the water, you know? And also, we need to change this here to can float. So, if not can float, then we return. It's fine. Otherwise, we've got to do buoyancy, right? Do we have any delta in here at all? We don't. Where would we need to stick the delta for this? We wouldn't, because we're not doing any direct manipulation. So if can float, do buoyancy, right? And then we create a function for do buoyancy, which is all of this stuff. We don't have delta in there, so it doesn't matter. Cool, so it doesn't even check the position until it can float and we're doing buoyancy. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but it seems like the most adaptable in case we want to add some extra stuff, you know? Ooh, I like that. I like how like the velocity stops it from going out too far. So like we're going to be able to find stuff that's spawned on the water surface. I mean like this, look, it's going to stop like right there. And is it going to stop completely and then go to sleep? Exhilarating, boys, I know, exhilarating. Is it going to sleep? It's still turning. It might be asleep, frozen, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, that'd be sick if it was. The bounce. Wait, did I just pick that up? Oh, right. What color should these numbers be, by the way, boys? You see that number there that says ×3? You can't really read it. What color should that be? Should I just like, because we can't just keep it white. Maybe I just stick like an outline around it or something. I'm honestly not too sure yet.
Go to sleep, go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Kind of also want it to like, I don't really care. You know, like even itself out. But like, I don't care that much. I mean, central impulse. What if we change this to apply impulse? Because then it would be affecting the rotation. Let's see what happens. And then we need to see if we can still drop these crab pots in without there being an issue. Oh yeah, we just dropped the crab pots straight off freaking jetty. Wait, does that count? Oh my god, that actually counts, dude. Maybe we gotta check to see if it's a little bit below the surface. Okay, this isn't working. Wonder why. It's like the same thing, right? Interesting. No? Apply impulse. I wonder why that wouldn't work. Position.
Crypto Moriarty 01 Chris Lilly's Maca Boys making a cameo.
You know it, dude. Fennel heads fuckwits, man. What's his name? Blake Oakley? Fennel's heads fuckwits. Mucka boys. Wait, what is it? It's like this? Something like that? They're like, their secret like thing. Where it's like, shows the like, you know? They didn't realize, but we were trying to make the beach safer for them. It's just like them as kids, like just trying to bash the Fennel's heads fuckwits. I fucking love Chris Lilly, dude. She's so funny. Mucka, yeah. Axel Mitz. Welcome to the game, big dog.
Straight up on stage
gang.
And nobody even did anything.
Gang. Welcome to the gang, big dog. How y'all doing? This shader is supposed to like take the player's position into account. Don't worry about that. We got a buoyancy thingy there. It's supposed to take the player's thingo into account. I mean, that still drops. That's really cool. I like that. Mucka mad boys. I still do that to my mates, actually. You know, you do that to them. You go up to them and you do that to them. Give them the old shocker right to the neck. Mucka. Mad boys. We should also check to make sure that the crab pot near him isn't completely full of crabs. You know what I mean? Because if it's full of crabs, it's effectively not even really there, you know? Otherwise, like, you can have like 5 crab pots. 4 of them are filled up, but the other one is filling up really slowly. The only one left is filling up really slowly because there's so many crab pots near it. So I'm going to add another one. Quart amount. Is full. Bool equals false. And then when this quart amount gets up to the top, look, if no, that's not it. That's the interact. So we've got to go to the catch timer. Quart amount plus equal max crabs. Look. LF quart amount plus 1 equals max crabs, then we can is full equals true.
Axelmer first message seeing your tutorials on YT, very good job, thank you for that. Videos really good and educational.
Thanks, man, appreciate you, dude. No, seriously. I love it when people come in here and tell me that like they like my tutorials, because you know, I just love teaching people stuff. I just like teaching people stuff, and like game dev is like my life, man. Like, and as somebody who came from like programming software, there's a lot of stuff to do with game design that I already understand. So when I started to learn game design, I was like, oh shit, like it's just a bunch of this, a bunch of that, and then a bunch of getting over the fact that you're running code like every second, every frame. And like that's something that you don't do with like, you know, Python and C, all that sort of stuff, you know? So yeah, I gotta say, like it's been really, really fun. Like I absolutely love this, because the other thing I do is a lot of art, you know? Like I've been doing 3D models, you know, video editing, photo editing, all that kind of stuff for such a long time that like bringing all of my like disciplines together, it just feels great, you know? Really good. You know, like all of this logic stuff, you know, is like, this is so close to, it's so close to Python that, like, yeah, it's just, it's crazy. It's just crazy. But thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I feel like this could be a little bit different. I don't know about that. See the spawn crab, the update crabs. How often is update crab called? It's when it goes up or if it goes down. So what I can do is I can go if caught amount. Here we go. If caught amount equals max crabs, then is for equals true.
Sales 2 game dev is fun for the most part. I don't know, sometimes I just want to not make anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, you go through phases, you know. What have you been working on, Pixel? What type of game? Because I know, like, when Retro talks, I know what Retro's working on. So it's easier for me to, like, kind of abstract what he's talking about with, you know, his exporting weapons and animations and all kinds of stuff like that, you know. But yeah, nah, thanks for the encouragement, because I really do like sharing the way that I do stuff with people, because I feel like not tooting my own horn here, but I know what's important when it comes to software and like getting performance. So applying that to game design is second nature to me, really. It's like anytime I add something, I'm like so aware, not aware, but I'm conscious of like the lag that it might introduce. So I like to do things in a very like optimized way, and I might not do them optimized all the time, but that's what I aspire to do. That's what I endeavor to do, you know.
Udpic Sales 2 games 1. Puzzle
like even this
game 1 3D retro liminal game.
So here we go. 2 games, 1 puzzle, point and click. Dude, fucking love point and click games, man. There's actually a really good one I played recently called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. I'll pull up the Steam page. The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. You could probably get this for a couple bucks on what is it, G2A, if you wanted. This is really cool. I really liked this game. I got it in a humble bundle. Bundle, I guess. I got it in a humble bundle 1 month. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but like I really liked it. The art was really good too, which obviously is like the saving grace of a lot of these games, because they're not super interactive for the most part, but this is very like immersive, you know, for a pixel game. Yeah, it was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it, and it was like I had a couple of people like watching me play it on Discord at the time that were just like, bro, I need to see what happens at the end, you know. So like 3 or 4 days in a row we just jumped on and like played a couple hours.
There's an Australian crab one called crab meat.
Crab meat, really? Crab meat. True. This could be NSFW, and I would have just pulled it up, dude. What is this? I feel like I've seen this.
Udpic Sales 2 looks cool. The game I'm making is in a clay art style with dithering.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I love dithering. Ugh, big old scary crab. So it's like you're crabbing. It is a point and click survival game. It doesn't look point and click, but it is. Okay. That's really cool there. Crab theft prohibited. $50,000 fine. That's cool, man. Actually, that's really cool. Yeah, feel free to join the Discord. Come talk shit with us. Come talk game dev with us. I'm always open to talking about new concepts, new ideas, give advice where I can, you know. And if I can't give the advice, we've got a lot of other talented people in the Discord as well. that can answer your question if I can't.
Udpic
Or I
sales
can't be
2.0 for
bothered.
sure.
Or I'm bored or whatever. I don't know, doing something. Not bored. Busy. That's the one. Look at that. That's so cool. So when I talk about the noise, this is what I'm talking about. You see how the foam moves up and down? It might be a little bit easy to see on this. So you see how the foam, it moves up and down on this surface. That's actually like the local surface moving up and down. And so like if I could sample where that differential is, I could actually change the detection amount, you know what I mean?
To my games are like dead on itch.io. Love
Thanks,
to talk
man.
about game dev with people.
Dimas. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. These lives are for you guys. These lives are for you guys to give me ideas so I can scam muzzle the ideas from you guys.
God bless you, sir.
And also, God bless you. Thanks, man. And show you how I do things. I was just saying before, I'm pretty confident in the way that I do things. I might not be the like most artistic or autistic or creative person, but like I really enjoy this stuff. And I've got my own, I don't know. I got my own goals when it comes to this sort of stuff.
OE1045.
045. You trying to give me a phone number, bro? You trying to drop a phone number in the chat? So that might not make sense outside of Australia. But all the phone numbers over here start with 04. Watch me chuck all this shit in the ground. Very sick. I'm happy that this is all working, and I'm really happy about.
That's really cool to create systems. I just hard code all of it.
Yeah, true. I mean, hard coding is, look, if you can do it in a neat way, a clean way, then that's fine. And see, this is what I was trying to do here, right? Is actually have all of the stuff that rolls down from wherever it is to just not keep rolling into the water or like go down to like here. You see where the bottom is? I wanted it to like actually sit on the surface. I think I might need to change the damping amount. It might be a little bit too much at the moment. Like I might want it to just like hang out a little bit more. Really cool to create systems. My games are like dead on itch.io. I love to talk about game dev with people. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't really upload to itch.io. My prerogative is just getting games ready for Steam, to be completely honest. Like I don't really focus on itch at all. When I make a game jam game, I put it on itch, but that's about it. That's really about it. So here we go. Let's have another look at this. So that, the ocean moving up and down, we need to sample that somehow. How are we going to sample that? So if I've never really done this before, right? But the shader for the water is here. This is the displacement texture. So if I turn that off, then there won't actually be any displacement. If I save this as a resource, as water noise, yeah, we'll just call it water noise. How are we going to sample it? Because we kind of need to work out, we need these other values as well. Like, see the displacement scroll speed, the displacement scroll offset
too. I don't think I'm there yet
scale.
for Steam. My games are a bit wonky.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of wonky games on Steam, bro. Just be part of the noise, if nothing else. Part of the noise. Who cares, bro? At this point, it's like, you've seen the amount of trash that's on Steam, dude. Like, you just kind of, if you're a cut above the rest, like, it'll be obvious, you know? And it'll pay off, you know? 1999. So I think 00 is around, like that. You see how it moves up and down? I gotta piss again. Hold on. Might actually make another coffee too.
Pixels 2. Yeah, I've seen dozens of night shift horror games on Steam.
Somebody should Google, for me, how I can take that noise texture and all the displacements and then actually sample it with the global position. Because I think it'll be like boat. Like a boat. Like if you're trying to make a boat, like move to the waves, you're going to have a displacement on the shader because it's not like one big mesh, right? You're going to have a displacement on the shader and then you're going to sample points and then make like a virtual mesh that you'll do all of the detection from, which would be like your water surface. You know what I mean? Just a cosmic girl. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to need to go water the lawn as well. Fellers. I've seen dozens of night shift horror games on Steam. Yeah, that's the thing. And like, I'm sure a lot of them make money. I'm sure a lot of them don't as well. But, you know, if you want to build yourself up a reputation, you have to start by putting yourself together like a library of Steam games you've made. You know what I mean? Like these days, like you really have to...
Pixels 2. The only thing I remember is that there's a plugin called Shaker that can displace transforms using a sine wave or noise and stuff like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really want to create like an entire mesh. I just want to be able to sample points. You know what I mean? So I might have to like create like... Yeah, I'm going to need to do a little bit of thinking about that. But basically, all it's going to do is it's going to make these, like, the things in the water just kind of bob up and down because of the actual position where the water is. You know what I mean? And that'll be like a little offset. It'd be like a couple centimeters or something like that, but it'll constantly change. So it'll kind of like, you know, bob around. And so where the surface starts, you know, is at 0, 0, but it'll be 0, 0 plus like an offset, and that offset will be sampled from the noise. How are we going to do that? You don't know, we can find. Game manager. Let's actually create. Let's actually create, let's have a Google. Let's Google it.
Pixels 2. Maybe there's a godot tutorial I remember seeing one
Yeah,
before.
well, it'll be very similar to like how like boat floating logic is handled, you know? Like how does a boat detect the wave underneath it if the wave is just a shader material, you know? Like the wave... The actual water surface doesn't exist. it's an abstraction of sampled points from a shader mesh or like a moving noise material, you know what I mean? Interesting. How can we do this? First I've got to have a look in this shit, what do you call it? This shader here. Player waves. See, the player waves don't even work, dude. I haven't gotten them to work. Maybe I've got to like go to Godot shaders. Ocean. Caustics. You check Godot shaders a little bit. Water shader. I think this might be the water shader I'm using. You guys can't see it. I think it's this one. Is it? No. What does this one say here? There's got to be credit at the top. No? There's no credit. Oh my god, I'm going to need to add that credit in. Maybe if I search for this guy's name as well. Dun 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 dun. Absorption based stylized water. I don't think that's it. Wait, this is it. This is it. Yeah, if you guys are curious, this is it right here. This is absorption based stylized water. This is what I'm using for the water right now. So yeah, I might need to do a little bit of work to this. Interpolated step distance. Other Godot internal reflections methods still desirable to cover off-screen reflections. Cool. Nah. Maybe it does have a ray marching thing in it. I didn't think it did. SSR, oh my god, it does. So it's not really like... I might have to like edit the hell out of this. I didn't want it to do its own ray march. You were very high. You were high. Switching back to the unrefracted screen UV fixes that. Sampling screen positions either outside the screen bounds. Yeah. See, it's supposed to create ripples as well from the player, but it doesn't really work. I think people are talking about it in the comments on Godot shaders as well. Let's have a read. Because maybe I can get that working and see what that looks like. I got a problem getting player waves to work though. I've made a shader with global. Yeah, so am I. Doesn't look as good as in your pic. What does it look like in the picture? I don't get that as well. That's what I have to add. I gotta follow this a little bit better. Normal map, cellular SSR tolerance. Displacement texture. What do I have here? So I've got the displacement texture. Speed at which displacement texture is moved across the world. That's it. So this is what I'm thinking. All of this I can actually move to like a script. And so the script is like saving the update, unless it samples it through time, does it? Displacement here. Yeah, it's time. So it's just being sampled. So I could just take this and figure out like how the displacement works. Wind direction X, Z. It's almost like something I would dump into Claude to work out how to like reverse engineer it. You know what I mean? Let's see what Claude thinks. I give it world XY chords and I get Y displacement. The core challenge here is that GPU texture sampling happens. Here we go. It happens on the shader side. I know that. You can't directly call into a shader from GScript. Yeah, I know that. Replicate the sampling. That's basically what I need to do, right? Image.getPixel. What the fuck? Okay, so this is how... This time we wouldn't need to... I think they've updated the way that time works in Godot as well. Like time. I think we've got timer functions. Yeah, get ticks milliseconds. This is since the engine started. Yeah, so that is the same as like a time method. Like this here. Because that's what time is, I think. In our GD shader language. Because I haven't done much in the way of shaders, but I've done a little bit to try and understand how they like the what do you call them? The like inbuilt variables, like yeah, model matrix, time and vertex. The ones that are at the bottom, albedo, roughness, specular, you know. So time is going to be since the start. They really need to add like help for GD shader. GD shader, what is it called? Time shader. We don't have any there's no documentation for the shader. Online docs, maybe. Shader reference, built-in functions. We want the built-in variables. It's not going to be it there. The shader language. Here we go. That just skipped. Time. See, it's not in here. Like. I really got to spend like a week just doing shader stuff. Actually, with Godot 4.7, did you guys see that like new shader thing that they've got? Let me pull it up. It's actually really cool. I haven't looked at it yet. I think I've got a copy of 4.7 on my computer, but I haven't done this. Look. So as you type out your shader, you can actually stick a little like breakpoint or whatever that would be there. Do they have those? No, they don't. It looks like a breakpoint. It's like a little breakpoint where you can actually preview what that step is doing to the texture. I think that's really, really cool. So
Pixels 2.0 that SD.
yeah, that's really, really cool. So as I learn how to do the shader stuff, I'm gonna need to really understand this bullcrap. So it's good that they've added that right around the time I need to learn. So here we go. Ticks millisecond divided by 1,000. Why is that divided by 1,000? Oh, it's because it's... Well, this is what I mean. Like, I need like a reference for like this. GD shaded time. Shading language. Time is a built-in variable that provides the elapsed time in seconds. It's in seconds. It's in seconds. Is it in seconds? I don't trust this AI overview. Using time constant in GD shaded breaks debugging. Okay, whatever. Whatever, I don't care about that. So we might not even need to worry about that. We need to times it by 100, maybe. Okay, so then, interesting. I wonder how fast this, how fast would this run though? Sample displacement world XZ. Yeah, here we go. So if I chuck this into like a global script, let's call it like the ocean global or something like that, then I could, or like the ocean manager or something like that, then technically I could get the displacement amount. Interesting. And then I just need to sync these up with whatever's in the shader, right? Like this stuff here. Yeah, why does it look like shit on my computer as well? Anyway, that's how we would do that. I'm gonna have a look into that later. I don't know if it's like, if it's a smart thing to do, you know. I don't know if it's a super smart thing to do, because I'd be adding a lot of overhead for no reason. You know, like every single one of these like it's got to run the calculation every second and then keep it cached. Is that how I would do it? You would kind of need to, the fastest way to do it would be to do the entire, shit, I don't know, is to have the image update constantly and then to just sample that image. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to every single object in the ocean sampling the image again. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna have a look. Because obviously, like, Claude is a bit of a fucking idiot. It doesn't understand what use case I'm using this for, but like, let's have a look at this. Oh shit. Okay, it's already doing some weird stuff. The fuck? XZ in
Crypto
base
Moriarty
vector
01.
3.
Whilst
What?
you are confused here as a sidetrack, you gonna add seaweed.
What?
Sales 2. I have zero knowledge about shaders, so I don't know.
Whatever. Well, you see, the thing is, right, like, it's essentially all it is like, it's a noise texture, right? So like if I didn't put a noise texture in it, there wouldn't be any waves, right? So it's like, I'm not great with shaders either, right? But I do understand this, which is that here, let me have a look. So this texture, this is just like a random noise texture, right? So let's say instead of like, I really want to move it from left to right, but I actually can't zoom in any more than this for some stupid reason. 800's all you can zoom in, I guess. So as time goes on, it actually moves the texture, right? But it'll move it in two directions. It'll move it in one direction and another. Because it's seamless, when it gets to the end, it's just going to keep wrapping around, right? Because a noise texture is essentially infinite. It's like whatever X, Y you try to sample. So let's say we want to sample like this point in the top left, like the very top left. As we move, it's changing value. It's going from 0 to 1 to 0 to 1, you know, anywhere in between as we move, right? That's happening in the shader for every single vertex, in the water. You know what I mean? So that's why the water is moving up and down, and we can actually change the noise type to try and get like a different result kind of thing, right? But that is algorithmic, meaning if we can recreate that algorithm in GD script, then what we can do is when we sample
to make sense.
a specific position, as in the position of this crab, you know, if we try to sample the position, the XY position of this crab, so let's say across the entire world, the crab is like right here, right? If we try to sample that while it's still scrolling, you know, like while this thing's still scrolling, if we try to sample this exact same position, which is XY, then it's going to move with the shader. You know what I mean? So it's like recreating the movement of that noise pattern, and I'm using the same noise pattern in the shader as I am in the code, trying to replicate that. So it's like a random number generator where the shader is, the random number is like 5 at the exact position of that crab, and then all I have to do is recreate the movement of that noise, and then when I sample that same position, it should be 5 as well. You know, except it's a scalar value, so it's between 0 and 1. But that's essentially the way that it would work. And I'm sure that's how like boats would work. You know, if I wanted to make this boat like move in the exact, like move on the ocean, as opposed to just like, because it's got its own movement. I don't know if you've noticed that. The boat actually moves around, but it's not actually related to the water itself. See, look at this, right? The boat is actually moving around, but it's not based on the water. It's not like Sea of Thieves, you know? Because like in Sea of Thieves, you've got the water, which is a shader, but you've also got like this script, which is sampling it in like, let's say like at least 2 different parts, you know, let's say like 4, like 1 at the front, 1 at the back, 1 port side and 1 starboard, right? And it's figuring out, it only really needs 3 like points or whatever, but it's figuring out where to move the boat so it lines up with those points, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's such a hard concept to have to explain because it's something that I barely understand myself, but it makes sense. Oh, that bird's just gone to sleep. Yeah, look. The bird's gone to sleep. So it's technically possible, but I don't know if the overhead is worth it, because then any item in the ocean 60 times a second is going to sample the point. Or maybe I can make it so when I come into a certain distance, it does it. Or maybe it only does it with certain objects, you know, like tools or fish or something like that, you know? Like, if I want to, because I'm going to have like a fishing rod eventually in the game. If I throw the fishing rod out and I've got like a little floater, it would be really cool if that floater just sat on the exact surface of the water, like kind of bobbing up and down at the exact point that it's supposed to. That would be really cool, you know?
Udpixels 2. Yeah, the whole sampling thing sounds kinda complicated. Crypto Moriarty 01, are you using marker 3D Buoyancy points you mean?
Well, that would essentially be it. If I was to make a boat, I would have marker 3Ds all over it that would sample the buoyancy, like it would sample the points, and then it would create a flat surface between it, and then we would just rotate the boat to be in that best, you know what I mean? So like, let's say we've got a wave, and then the boat is sampling here and here, it's just going to create an angle that looks good on the water, you know? So like I said, we really only need 3 points, sample 3 points to create a flat surface. But I'm sure things like Sea of Thieves probably samples quite a few points. I actually don't know. I've never looked into it. But like, there's no other way to do it. It has to be done like that, where we are recreating the movement of the noise in script the same way that we're moving the noise in the shader. Yeah, so right here, I want to make like another building, but on stilts. That's going to be my first stilted building. Because right here is like, it's a bit of an awkward spot where it's like, well, what are you doing here? You know what I mean? And then also here, I'm thinking of just making this like, essentially like a little kiddie pool, you know, where it's like, it's a little area where, you know, people could swim or something like that. Or maybe this is the crabbing area, you know? I don't know. Actually, did we ever finish that? Wait, we never finished the crab pot logic. Is full. Yeah, look, is full. Yeah, here we go. That's right. If pot equals self, or pot.globalposition.y is above 0, or pot.is full, then we ignore it, right? Because we don't need to sample the done pots. Hell yeah, Van Halen. So if I go plop this over here, even though it's next to this one, once this one fills up, this one should just pop off like normal. Yeah, look, it's popping off like normal. That's so good. And it makes sense. It actually makes sense because like the crabs aren't going to go into the full one, are they? They're going to go over to the one that's not full. But per second, the probability doesn't change from 40%. Woo! Look at them crabs, baby. Let's figure out why the duplication bug happens. Yeah, let's figure that out. Drop current item. Is dropped. Nah, it doesn't make sense. We're actually removing this. Remove at. Bro. I don't know why the fuck that. Oh yeah, look, and then remove? No? Bro, I don't even know. It really doesn't make sense. It's like spawning it and then I'm grabbing it out of midair. Or it might just be the last object I looked at. I don't know. Maybe if I hit E real quick on it without moving the mouse, it'll grab 2. Well, that doesn't work. Why does it only work when I throw it? Look, we got it then. Okay, well, does it work when we drop? It does, look, it's still doing it when we drop. Wait, is it?
Pixels 2 maybe delay it with an await timer timeout.
That's what I just looked at, and I couldn't find anything obvious. Unless it's happening at the exact same second, but... I mean, realistically, what I should be doing is removing it and then, like, waiting a frame and then doing it. So, look, this remove at update held object. Does remove at update the hotbar though? Player. Update held object, update hotbar. So we're already connecting it. Item added. Oh shit, look. Item added updates the hotbar, but item removed probably doesn't. So let's go down to drop current object, which also throws. And now instead of updating held object, we'll update hotbar because that also updates held object. So let's see if that by itself is going to fix the issue. Because I was just updating what was, oh no, look, I've still got 2. Look, yeah, it still worked. So then what I should do is await get tree dot process frame. So we wait 1 frame and then we continue. It's like I deferred, like forcing a defer. And then we can instantiate the rigid object. Okay, let's try that. Does waiting a frame before we spawn the... No! Look, it's still happening. What the fuck? Did you see that? Really gonna need to work that out. That's devastating that that happens. Shit.
Pixels 2 damn.
Yeah, I know, right? I thought it would be just that easy, but it's not. Okay, so that didn't work. We'll put a little comment there. Didn't work, lol. Let's go back to this game manager. Now this was the code that I was bitching about. What is this here? So wind direction.xz. That's not even a thing. XZ, what is that? Vector 3x plus vector 3z, I think. I think that's what it is. Plus displacement scroll. That doesn't make any sense. I think it's trying to normalize the X and the Z. Well, that would just be normalized, wouldn't it? Wait, XZ? What do you mean, world XZ? Vector 3 plus a vector 2. Dude, this makes no sense. I've got to really like look over this. Try and figure out what the hell is going on. Cause like I don't know. I don't really care. I'm going to get rid of that for now. It doesn't really matter. Now, what else were we working on? Can't remember what else we were working on. We were... What?
Pixels 2 crab pot.
No, the crab pots are fine. Just bear with me on this. Sample image repeat. What the fuck? Sample displacement. Let's have a look at this. Hold on. So game manager.xz. We also need to... We can't really do it from the game manager either, because we can't export any of these variables. So displacement texture, just bear with me, because this is going to piss me off until I try it. Water noise, right? Displacement scale. Let's actually have a look at all of this. Where's the shader? So displacement scale equals 0.04. 0.04. What's the next one? Displacement scale offset. 0.5. Displacement scroll speed. 0.1. Displacement scroll offset. Vector 2. Negative 0.2. 0.3. See, we can just set these as well if we want. So we can set it all up in the game manager and then just get this to sample that. Displacement strength. What is that? 0.3. Wind direction. I think that's... should actually be in the... Where is it? It's not even there. It's a shader. Yeah, it's a shader. So how do I get that? It's like rendering server. Get shader parameter. Get shader. Get global shader parameter get. The wind direction should be a vector too as well. Shader globals. Wind direction. Oh no, it is XYZ. Okay. Wind direction, and then another one for wind intensity. var image is just image. So image is set to displacement texture.get image. Okay, let's just run this. No, okay. Trying to assign type nil. Okay, maybe we should set these after. So wind direction equals that. Wind intensity equals rendering server. Okay, so maybe the rendering server loads up after the globals. Null value. Why? It's not the image, it's noise. Displacement texture dot noise. It's just this here, right? Noise. That's not gonna work. Image, no. Displacement texture. I know this probably isn't the most exciting thing in the world for you guys, but I really want to work this out. Fast noise light.
Tomatoes Aladef, I'm excited AF.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Tomatoes Aladef, cuz when you figure it out, oof.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Damn it, dude. So what is it? It's get image. Is going to get image from what? From this texture 2D. It's not from a texture 2D though. Returns an image. So what's image? That's fine. Image texture. And then this here, we don't want to convert. Because it's just going to be noise. So displacement texture. Width, height, noise, seamless. Noise texture 2D. So let's have a look at this. I haven't really messed with noise textures too much inside GD script. As normal map, height, invert noise. As normal map. What does that return? No. Float, gradient. We can't return an image, can we? Noise. Does noise return image? Yeah, look. Get seamless image. Get image. Noise.get image. Yeah, look. That's got to be it. Oh, come on. Come on. Noise texture. Get noise. Noise.
Unfixales 2 I gotta go, see y'all later.
Catch you later, man. Catch you on the sleaze. And all out of love. Get seamless image. Look at this. Get seamless image. We need some var new noise. We'll do that. There's going to be noise just so you can work with this a little bit better. Image is going to be new noise dot. Oh, you guys can't even see this shit. New noise dot get seamless texture, get seamless image. There we go. We need some width. So it's going to be displacement texture dot width. Get width. Oh, like this here. Displacement texture. Can we just get the straight up width? get height. It's just going to be 512 anyway, but just in case we change it. Invert, no. False. What else we got? In 3D space, false. Skirt, we don't have a skirt. Wait, what's that default to? We do a skirt of 0.1. Yep. Normalize. False. So we could probably get, wait, is that not how you do it? How do you do it? Get width, get height, false, 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 false. Aphex Twin, baby. Image convert, format RF, I don't know what that is. What's that, 8-bit? 32-bit floating point, all right. Still broken, come on. Trying to assign value of type nil. What do you mean? All right, what is wind? Does wind intensity work? No, neither. Large performance penalty. So rendering thread needs to synchronize with the calling thread, which is slow. Do not use this method during gameplay. You need to read values in the script after setting them. Consider creating an auto load. Yeah, okay. So we should just essentially change this to whatever it is by default. 0 and 0.1. It's going to be vector 3 dot 0. Oh my god, it's working. And now we just need a way to sample the points, right? So we've just got to sample these points and then add that to... Oh my god, this might actually work. Boys, we're getting close. Bottle ridges. So to do buoyancy, we need to... If position is greater than...
Tomatoes aladefyi.
Yeah. Get sampled height. Float equals game manager dot displacement scale. No, here we go. Sample image repeat. No, we don't want the UV. Wait, do we? We do, because we don't want this. We want the repeat. Do we? We want the sample, the displacement. Yeah. World XZ is a vector 2. Okay. Vector 2. Global position dot X. And then the global position dot Z, I believe. Wait, is Z up or is Z back? Yeah, Y is up. Okay, wait. And it should only do it when it's below 0. So what if we print this? I know we're probably going to get a lot of shit in the debug. Oh my god, I think it's actually working, boys. So this gets sampled height. Hold on, here we go. The depth is the position. Take away the sample height. Wait, is that going to be it? Because all we're doing is getting the depth, and that depth is going to change. Let's try that. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, fellas. Let's grab a bunch of trash. Drop it. I think it's working, fellas. Oh, I think it's working, boys. Look, they're bobbing up and down. That's sick, bro. That is fucking sick. Look at that. Dude, that's sick as hell. Look at that. Is it bobbing the right amount, though? That's what I want to know. We put it there. We could probably get like an actual read on it. Look, yeah, as it goes down. Oh my god, boys.
Tomatoes Aladef noise, bro.
Dude, we don't just have fucking... We don't just have buoyancy. We've got like literal... like sampled waves, man. That's awesome. That means that I could go add that buoyancy shit to the boat. And the boat... Look at this. Look at this. Look at that one. Look at this one move up and down with the wave. Ready? Better move back up again. Oh my god, dude. That is sick as hell, bro. That is sick. I'm so proud of that, boys. That's mad.
Add an export to fine-tune the amount.
Add an export, fine-tune the amount. What do you mean?
Crypto Moriarty 01 creaming.
Creaming. Yeah, that's wicked, hey. Like it's a little bit dodgy. Like you look at this fish, it's a little bit sketch, but like for the most part, that is like it's literally moving with the waves. Look, like as this wave goes up, look at that. As the wave goes down, it moves down too. I just need to see what sort of performance impact it has. So if I player remove, wait, drop current item. Let's drop a whole bunch of these in the water. Let's have a look at that. Should actually add an extra button just to do this. I want to know about performance, right? I need to know how much this is affecting performance. So if I can just get a shitload of them in the water, then I don't really care. And like, look at this. I can move them around, like while they're bobbing around. That's sick. It's like barely affecting it at all. I think it's starting to do it now. Oh my god, boys, look at that. Is that not fucking glorious, boys? It's literally moving with the waves. Oh, that's so fucking cool, bro. That's sick as hell. A little bit of the shader, a little bit of Claude's help, and a little bit of using my brain. There you go. That's awesome. The sampling technique. So what we have to do is we have to make the shader use the values that we're storing in the auto load. See, look, I think we can see the edge of the seam. You see how it like it every now and then it like drops down. Oh, that's so freaking cool! Woo! Dude, I'm popping off about that, fellas. That's so cool. Maybe that's what I'll do a tutorial about. What do you reckon? I gotta do a tutorial today at some point. But like, that's so funny. The trash in the ocean, dude. That's so legit as well. Like, you know? Oh my god. I feel like Valve, bro. I feel like Valve when they made Half-Life 2.
Tomatoes Aladef, I think exports put a setting for that variable directly into the godot editor in the inspector, then you can fine tune. I don't know how to code.
100%. 100%. I gotta piss. I'll be right back.
Tomatoes Aladef looks sick, all the trash everywhere.
Now, I'm thinking I could make this even more performant by, like, you think about this, right? Let's say we had 100 objects, right? This function here is being run 100 times, right? So 100 times we're working out like a second, right? No, it's running 100 times 60. So it's running 6,000 times a second, right? If we have 100 objects, it's 60 frames a second, physics frames, and 100 objects, it's running 6,000 times, right? So it's running this 6,000 times, it's running all of this 6,000 times. So what I'm thinking, actually, is that even going to be viable? Like, what I want to do is I want to just have all of this bullshit updated. Like this here. See, we're only sampling it there. You know what I mean? This is the only part where we're sampling it. So if instead we're sampling like a cached version, UV vector 2. Does that make sense? Or am I like overthinking this? Where we have, like, this will update 60 times a second. Like down the bottom here. Let's go func physics process. We need to have like a cached version. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, update cache. And then, object sample cached. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to think about this. This is just a lot of numbers. So we're setting up the image. I mean, unless we kind of need all of this in here. Like this. Like the UV1 and the UV2 can be like updated here. UV1 time Windex Z time Windex Z to scroll So we can go. So we can create var UV1, UV2. World XZ. That's the input though. Yeah, I'm not sure. This one's going to take a little bit of time for me to work out. Just how to do it a little bit more performant. So we can have like, you know, 10x the amount of fucking shit. So this water noise here, displacement texture, water noise. So what we've got to do in ready is we actually need to set these as well. So water noise, no, not water noise. We need to save that. No, water 3.tres. We also need to move this down just so it's not in the way. And then I might actually change this from being in the game manager. So it's in like the water manager or the wave manager or something like that. Either way, it doesn't really matter for right now. We'll just keep it in the game manager. So water 3 on ready. There we go. Water 3 dot set shader parameter. We have to set all of this stuff. So displacement scale. That's one. What's the next one? Displacement scroll. Offset. Scale, oh, scale offset. Dude, I can't read, man. Scroll speed, set that here. So we would essentially need to, yeah, I'm probably going to move it to its own auto load. Yeah. I'm just going to call it Wave Manager. And then from Wave Manager, we should just have all of this stuff in there, right? Just so it's not clogging up the game manager. Well, we're just going to move all of it except for that bottom crap. I think that's all it was, Wave Manager. And then, where is it? Player, no, the trash. The rigid, items rigid. So this will sample from the Wave Manager instead. There we go. So it should still work. What was that red text down the bottom there? It was nothing, doesn't matter. So then we'll figure out a way to do that even more performant from the Wave Manager instead of from the Game Manager. But there we go. Bobbing up and down, bro. I'm so impressed by that. Because like what we can also do is we can have the player position bob up and down based on that as well. Oh, let's do that. Because we've got the player buoyancy as well. Yeah. So go to player, where is it? Do buoyancy. How did I do it here? Just negative the sampled height. Sampled height. Look at that. So now we should bob up and down while we're in the water. Really going to change some of the what do you call it? Collision shapes, some of these things. Meow. Okay. Going out into the deep water. Uh-oh. That didn't really work. Negative sampled height. We are moving very slightly up and down, but like I said, we need like a surface texture. It's really hard to like see where the water is. It's really hard to tell. Like we're right on top of it. What if we like we times it by 2? We should start to see underneath the water. Yeah, look. Then it'll go down. Times 20. Yeah, look at that. God damn, that's so cool. Oh my god, boys, I'm so glad at the progress that we made today. It's so sick. See, we bob around a little bit. That's cool. Might just keep it the way it is, so we've got parity between the waves and the height. But like this boat, we could make the boat move around like to the actual waves as well. It's just the problem is it's really hard to see the waves. Like the only place where you really get to see the waves is like on the edges of stuff. Just kind of a shame. Oh, but that's so cool that it bobs around. So badass, dude. And like it might not be perfect, but like we can always fix it later. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm gonna do for a stream today, fellas. It's been about what, 4 hours, I think? About 4 hours. It's been a very productive 4 hours. I really didn't think that I would get that much done in 4 hours. But no, I'm really, really happy with that. So thanks guys for tuning into the stream. I might make a tutorial about this buoyancy a little bit later. Depends. I'm going to play around with it a little bit and see where we get. Remember to join the Discord. Hit like. Hit follow. I'll like the video right now, especially if you're looking on freaking YouTube. Like the live stream. Make sure. And also make sure you're subscribed. Cheers, boys. I'll catch us on the next one. Ah.